And the snows fall and the white winds blow. The lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Everybody, too sweet to everybody out there, too sweet to all my Wolfpack brothers here on the panel. It is that time of the day. It's that time of the week. It is Wolfpack Wednesdays, and we got a great show for you tonight. We have a special guest, which we'll bring out in 1 second here. Guys, I was like on my way to work today. I do a lot of driving, a lot of traveling, and it's kind of like it's Wednesday. It's kind of like trudging in the mud, driving. I had an hour and a half drive to my building today, and I'm like, but you know what? It's Wolfpack Wednesday. So let's go. Let's do this.
Let's fucking
go. How are you guys doing tonight? Brick, I want to start with you, Mr. Tennessee. What's going on? How's your week going?
Doing great, man. Been playing a little bit of Spider-Man before the show, before I put my kids to bed. So had fun with that. Got another hour into that game. I've been slacking. But yeah, I got a couple other Lego videos out, and just now to talk about Hot Toys, where the fun begins, right?
Is that Spider-Man game, is it all it's cracked up to be?
Oh,
is
yeah.
It worth the hype?
The gameplay, story, everything is, as of right now, 10 out of 10. We'll see how it goes further in. It's really good.
Heard it here first, 10 out of 10. Good to have you. Good to see you, my friend. EvilSneaker. How are you?
I'm great, man.
Did you cut your hair yet?
I am. My hair is going tomorrow.
Wow.
My hair is going tomorrow. Shortcut. It's time for a change. I'm ready.
You're donating it?
I'm probably going to donate it. I'm pretty sure.
That's cool.
The gram.
Yeah. I'll probably donate it, but yeah, it's time for a change. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's been a really busy week. I feel like I'm like 99% recovered from being sick for about a month.
It's a good week.
Graham, you sound a lot better too. I feel like I just like turned a good corner, but today was super busy day. Every day, I swear, every Wednesday I'm really busy, and then I'm just like, dang, Wolfpack Wednesdays, let's go. Got some figures in this week, so yeah, it's a good week. I'm excited to talk about some stuff with you guys tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, we got a couple cool announcements that we haven't talked about, so we're excited to do that. But let's check in with DLO The Collector. Happy Wednesday, my friend.
Happy Wednesday to you, Graham. How are you, boys?
I'm good.
Boys.
It's always
exciting
good to see your
times.
face.
Exciting times here. I've been dying to play my Spider-Man game, but I haven't because, ironically, I got notifications that all my Spider-Man figures are shipping. So, overtime for me. So it's been a blast.
Nice.
Looking forward to tonight's show.
You guys were always talking about, like, on Friday, you're like getting Spider-Man. I'm like, anybody want to play Red Dead 2? No?
I would still take you up on that if it wasn't for Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's good to have you guys here. Good to have everybody in the chat. We'll address you in 1 minute, but I do want to bring our special guest out here. He is a man that needs no introduction, but yet we will give him one. He has been around YouTube land for some time. We go way back, and it's good to finally be reunited. But let's bring out our guest for tonight.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome tonight's Wolfpack special guest, making his way to the stream, a YouTube superstar and friend of the Jedi Knights Watch. Please welcome.
Well,
Let's go.
Scale Mafia.
First time I see that, bro. What's good, man? How you guys doing tonight?
Good to have you. We always like to roll the red carpet out for our guest and, do what we can to make you feel welcome.
I appreciate it. It was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that.
Into our little
awesome.
wolf den.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's good to have you, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Same old. Just doing the grind, man.
Yeah.
Streaming, gaming, working. Rinse, repeat, right?
There you go.
It seems like it. So is it, you're in Arizona. Is it finally starting to become bearable to be outside?
Yeah, I think today was like 90. So, yeah. No, that's great. That's great, dude. I'm telling you.
Damn.
June, July, August, September was basically 115, 117 every day. And then at night it's like 100. So I'll take 90. Yeah, it's not bad, man. I mean, and it's like in the mid 60s at night. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Next week or two, it'll start getting cold. So I'm glad.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's good to have you. I always just like to welcome, you to the show. So without further ado, welcome.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Ah, that's awesome. Oh yeah.
Go, everybody. Let's check in with the chat, see who's here before we dig down into these topics here tonight. We got Eddie Rodriguez in the house. What's going on? Thank you for being here. Andreas giving us the pink hand wave. Hello. Primetime Reviews, channel member Primetime Reviews. Thank you for being here. Guys, just want to let you know, so we are doing a Halloween special next Tuesday, Wednesday. It's a special, so it's going to be on Tuesday. We're going to be dressing in costumes. I'm going to be doing the channel member giveaway, which is that NeoPixel lightsaber, that Ahsoka lightsaber. So all you have to do is be a channel member and you're in. So stay tuned for that, and we're going to be giving that away. So that'll be fun. Daniel in the house. Hello, my friend. Cylon, thank you for being here. Good evening. He says Brick 6. What's up, Brick 6? They call me Queso Blanco. What's crack-a-lackin'? Christian Cooper. Good to have you, my friend. Jazzy, always a pleasure. Doc Bat. Wednesday Wolves. Good to see you all. Then, of course, we have the norms. We got EvilSneaker. We got DLO The Collector. We got Brick Artemis in the house. Daniel, my friend, so good to see you. Hope all is well. Good to have you back. Hope you're hope you're hanging in there, doing good. Universal Key, evening, everybody. 1/6 Shape. How's it going? Josh Johnson. Oh gosh. We're not talking Packers tonight, so I don't know if Mafia is a football fan, but we ain't talking Packer football. So for another time.
He does suck.
Is this Shinigami Jinkle? So hyped for that new Predator figure. Yeah.
Fucking nailed it, bro.
Sneakers. Hair. Whoa, yeah. Is that
20,000.
Yeah,
20,000 starting bid.
Wow. I don't need hair that bad. Yeah, maybe
a lot of rooted figures.
Day, Born Again. How you doing, my friend? Tighter FL. Hello. Let's see here. My deluxe Green Goblin about to be shipped. Interesting story about that Green Goblin, isn't it, my friends? How he is all of a sudden
reappeared,
converts, and now he is able to be pre-ordered again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that
Should I tell them what happened to me though on that one, Graham?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So I put myself on the wait list. You guys know by now that I do that just to test the water, see if this is real or not, etc. I got an email saying your waitlist converted. I show the guys. I'm like, oh man, you know what? I think I might actually do it this time. Might as well. I've been messing around. I'm just gonna go do it. And then I go on Facebook and I see all you guys are putting in there. Oh, it's in stock now for pre-order. So I went for like $1 million and like I just hit the lottery. It's everybody can get it there. So go figure. So
yeah, we've been having this fun game between the four of us to like get on wait lists and see how long it takes to convert. And then like none of us ever buy the figure, but then we'll get off the wait list, go back on to see how it's going to convert again too. So
yeah, I've had 4 Black Panther conversions on wait lists, I think now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just from going on the
2.
original suit, just to test it. I would go on, get converted, I'd come off, go back on. It's happened 4 times I've got conversions on Black Panther at this point. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that figure. I think it might end up coming into stock. That's my theory at the moment, but we'll see.
Probably. That's a lot of waitlist conversions.
Yeah. Just keeps going. I just keep testing it. I just keep adding myself back on. Haven't bought it yet.
Really quickly, Mafia, what's your take on the sideshow wait lists and things converting and possibly coming back in? Do you have any like opinions about that, or like what's your take? Is it all BS? Is it just small batches and they're seeing how much people want and then kind of readjusting?
I think there's some truth to that on some figures, right? On some, but it's too random, right? I mean, like you mentioned, like we got the Green Goblin Deluxe popping up. A few weeks ago, we had a few other figures too. I forgot which ones, right? There was like 4 that just popped back up. They're ready to be, I think Doc or Marty, what was one of them from part 3? They showed up as a buy now. So it seems random. All I can think of is that they may have X amount of units and then they'll have like X amount of cancellations, right? And then after all is said and done, they say, okay, well, this is our remaining stock. We'll just make it available. Maybe, right? Because some companies will do that. Iconic, X06, you know, we'll do certain things like you have things left over, you know, QC issues, right? Returns, whatever. And then after the dust settles, it's been out for a little while, boom. But Doc, or Green Goblin, that's weird though. He hasn't been out for a while. I mean, neither is Black Panther, so I don't. Just it's anybody's guess, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think they're fucking with us, but it's random though, right? Where there's not like a set pattern to where we can kind of predict and sit back and wait, right? Like,
right.
Oh, maybe it'll show up. Like, we don't know. You know, so it's weird.
Yeah. The thing is with the ones that went on waitlist, it felt like the ones that went on waitlist so quickly were the ones that seemed like, well, those would be banger figures and a lot of people would be interested in those when a waitlist. Typically, like the ones that you would think people probably wouldn't be too interested in, maybe a little bit more limited because not as many people ordered. That would make sense. But like you would think like a Green Goblin, for example, like we're talking about right now, like that one, big character, right? The Spider-Man, huge characters. They always make tons of Spider-Man. Why did these suddenly become limited? So that's where it kind of like the theory kind of came up. It felt kind of weird. Like some of the ones you would think they would order plenty because, you know, there were a lot of collectors would want it were the ones going. So do you think that might have something to do with it, Mafia? Like where maybe like the more popular figures, they're getting more in because they know there's a higher demand for those? Or do you think it's, like you said, kind of random?
Well, somewhat, right? I think what Sideshow, I should say. I don't think Sideshow wants another Endgame Cap or Mark 85 Iron Man, right? Where they must order 10,000 of those things. I mean, they're still, you know what I mean? They're still there. Or like the early season Mando stuff, like, you know, pre like 2020, 2021, right. There was just so much of everything. I mean, shit, those Chitauri 2-packs finally sold out like a year ago. Like
crazy.
If you guys remember those from Avengers.
Oh, I remember,
you know, so I think Sideshow just doesn't want to do that anymore. So if they're, you know, I don't know if they're blanket ordering everything in low numbers, but they're definitely ordering much, much less than they used to, which is still weird to me, like you said, because if you have a popular character, you would think that he wouldn't go waitlist, you know, a year before they come out. You're like, dude, wait a minute, that's Spider-Man, or you know, somebody very popular. So yeah, dude, I really honestly don't know. I mean, it could be all across their board, or they could just be like, you know what, we got more orders than we thought. Hot Toys send us another purchase order of, you know, you know, X units or something, and then they become available for us again. So
right,
for sure.
It's
It's a very curious case. I'm not really sure, but it's interesting
we
to
can't pinpoint
debate.
You know,
yeah. All right, let's keep going here. We got Chris in the house, first time here. Hey, welcome to the Wolfpack. That one's for you. Let's see, we got Bob Dylan in the house. He says Lobo Mafia. Oh, ow, ow, ow. I think he's howling there, but yeah, that's good. We like that.
That is a howl.
Reading that one there.
Oh man, that was
obviously. You know, Anthony is
that.
He's a popular character, so everybody's loving to see him here. So it's good to have him here. Winslow, Arizona represent.
Yeah.
Cool. The movie Canon, welcome to the show. Giving his flowers to Mafia as well. Hey everyone, awesome panel. We got Red in the Ledger, nice Predator. Yeah, which one, mine or the one coming out? I think they're both looking pretty good, but exciting to talk about it. Brother Cousins Toy Reviews, what's going on, my friend? If you guys haven't, he just did a video on, I think there's his 10 figures that he hates, and it was pretty entertaining. So it kind of made me want to do one, like maybe like my top 5 figures in my collection that I hate. So, you know, we'll see. Let's see here. Chris Santos in the house. Hello, my friend. Thank you for being here. We got Big Breda, or AKA Big Trouble, in the house. G is one real collector in the panel, finally. Yes. Just a bunch of fakes here, except for one.
A bunch of fakers.
Let's see here. I think we're good. Yeah. What up, Daniel? Yeah. So, yeah, I got a little bit here. I think I hit everybody, but Movie Cannon wants to know, how old is that Predator figure, Graham? This is the City Hunter from Predator 2. It is pretty old, so I'm not really sure. I've had it for a few years now, but I don't know. I don't know if DLO or Anthony, if you know how old these Predator figures. I mean, they used to be the hot thing. And
is it the 2.0 City Hunter?
Yeah. Yep.
Like 2014 or 15, I think.
That sounds about right.
I think. Yeah.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Yes, it's been a little while, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
those 2.0s hold up great.
Yeah, they're awesome, and I don't mind how they're made. You know, we'll talk about that in a little bit with the Feral Predator that was announced. But I think they're standing the test of time, and they're pretty good. So we got Cage in the house. What's going on, my friend, channel member? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And yeah, so really quickly, Anthony is obviously a popular figure in the community, so a lot of you know him. But something that I like to do once in a while with our special guests is just like the rapid response. And I'm just going to ask Anthony some questions before we get going, kind of like an icebreaker, if you will. And, you know, just to learn more about Scale Mafia, if you guys aren't familiar. So, Anthony, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I gotta be, right? So, no, yeah.
All right. What did you collect before Hot Toys?
Oh, before Hot Toys. I mean, comics, Legends, Star Wars, all the old scale stuff that we grew up with, right?
Like the Kenner type stuff?
Yeah, I don't even know if I would say collect, right? Because that's such a vague term, isn't it? Because like when we were younger, we would just get toys.
Right.
And then eventually I was like, I'm over that. You know, I don't know. You get older, you get into life and girls and stuff and whatever it was, right? When you're growing up. I know. But there's a point to where I'm going with this. So like you get to that point where you're like, maybe you outgrew it, but somewhere in the back of the head, you never really did. And you revisit stuff. And but I think then it was because when you're younger, they felt like that. They were just toys, you know. But why did you like them? You didn't like them just because it was a toy, right? You must have liked something. If it's a character, well, what was it from? Okay, well, you like comics, you know, Star Wars, whatever, and then you kind of come back into it. At least that's what happened to me. You know, started getting really heavy back into comics. Started getting into statues again. I mean, this was like 15 years ago. We had like the Bowen statues and some Kobayashi stuff like that. Then eventually, I was like, you know what? These are pretty damn cool, man. Hot Toys. Because I worked at a comic book store for 10 years, you know. And, we never carried Hot Toys though. We carried, like I said, we carried statues, magic cards, comics, whatever, graphic novels. And then we had one time we got some Hot Toys in. I still didn't know what they were though. They came in. It was Captain America. So his first Avenger, I think it was like 2012 when they actually came out, because the movie was 2011. And we ended up getting some in. First Avenger Cap and Red Skull, and I was like, dude, what are these? Because I was unboxing stuff, you know, putting it on the shelves, and that got me right there. I was like, oh wow, dude, this looks so good. Cap not so much these days, but he looked amazing then, and that was it. Like that was like the one hit to get you kind of hooked, you know. You're like, okay, I can. There's something different. Like I said, like earlier on when I mentioned, you know, like, oh, I felt like they were toys, which wasn't a bad thing. You know, it's not a harp on anybody collecting like Black Series or anything like that. But for me at the time, growing up and then seeing Hot Toys, I was like, whoa, these don't look like the toys you'd get at like Toys R Us or, you know, Target, whatever. Sure. You know, these looked like the actors. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. So then I felt like it kind of classed it up a little, felt more like a collectible rather than just me collecting random stuff that I would buy, you know, when I was younger. So after that, that was a wrap.
Awesome.
It's
2023. Do you remember what your first Hot Toy was?
Yeah, it was both of them. It was first Cap and whatchamacallit, Red Skull. I bought them both at once. I was like,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
but
so they didn't
you know,
put
I
them on
worked
display
there,
or anything
so-
like that. You grabbed them.
Oh yeah, I just grabbed them. We got like 6 or 7 each, and I was like, I'm taking one of each, dude. And that was it. That was it, man. I
That's
loved
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Dead man
I
walking.
don't think
after
any
that.
of us could actually work at a store that actually sells hot toys and still
Oh no.
have
I
money
would
afterwards.
be screwed.
It was rough
It must take
too,
some
because
crazy willpower.
dude, the one I worked at too, my boss was so weird. It was like I would get paid, but then he would also give us, for every hour that we were there, he gave us like X amount of store credit as
Oh,
like
wow.
just a kind of a bonus
Oh.
thing, right? Because he thought it would incentivize, clearly, you know, people to buy stuff, even if it's store credit. But then we would get into something that we could talk about at work. Oh, did you just read this new, you know, Civil War, you know, back then, or whatever, right?
Oh,
You know,
that's
you're
cool.
spending money in the
Right.
shop, you have stuff to talk about. So a lot of it was like I was just banking store credit too, so it didn't cost me like barely anything. So you know what I mean? But it would be rough
That's awesome.
nowadays. I don't think I could do it now. I would be picking shit up every day. I'd be like, oh, I gotta save
Right.
money, right? Oh,
Is that Stranger Things behind you
the
with the
poster
arcades?
or the arcade? Yeah,
Oh, is-
yeah.
Dude,
I
that
got a
is
poster
sick.
back there, hard to see, but
Okay.
and then they're in the arcades too. Yeah.
Yeah, and the screen's
Yeah.
going and everything.
Yo, the arcades.
On
Yeah,
the
these are
arcade?
new. Yeah, these are new wave. New Wave Toys makes the arcades. They're 6
Okay.
scale. They're awesome. They're fully playable.
That's
Yeah, these are all
badass.
fully playable arcades, man.
Dude,
So
wow.
That
you
is
can
so
play them. You
dope.
can plug in a controller. They got
sick.
USB. They got HDMI. You can plug them into the TV if you want to, you know, do that. But I just like them because they're 6 scale, and
Oh yeah.
I always loved arcades. Grew up in them, you know. But I could never buy arcades because they looked cool, and I thought about it. I built a custom one years ago, and I had to get rid of it. So I was like, I don't have room for this shit.
Yeah, take up a lot of
You know,
space.
so yeah. So
You
I'm
got-
loving
got
it.
Brick-
You know,
got Brick's attention now.
Yeah,
That
dude,
arcade game.
they're awesome, man.
Stranger
I love 'em.
Things, man.
Yeah,
Arcade.
dude.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Brick had 5
Both of your weak
arcades
spots.
before
Six.
before he got into Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
okay. Yeah. See, I wanted to do that, but it's too big for me.
Yeah, I was just doing the arcade 1-ups, you know, because they are like 3/4 the size or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
of a
yeah,
normal
yeah.
arcade. So I had those, and I had like a little arcade room, and with all my Funko Pops and comic books, and I sold all that and Hot Toys. Let's go. But yeah, that kind of helped me. That kind of helped me clear up some space. I got rid of them too because I was moving, and then I was able to use some of that money for Hot Toys and other collections that I have. So it was nice.
Hey, man, use your collection to
yeah.
fund your collection.
Hell
It
yeah.
works.
Yep.
Mafia, do you ever see yourself moving on from the Hot Toys community? Or from collecting, I should say.
From collecting, no. I mean, I made it this far, dude. I just hit 42 last week or so. I don't
Hey, happy
think.
birthday.
Thanks, man. No, I don't think. I don't think so. I mean, never say never. Things could happen. You could maybe just be burnt, but I wouldn't even say 6 or Hot Toys in general. I'd say like 6 scale is just really cool. I mean, I also, you know, I have statues and other stuff too. I collect, but there's something about 6 scale. It's just fun. And I do it for work too, you know, and
Yep.
I love taking photos, like doing videos. I don't see, you know, outside of getting, I don't know, 20 years from now, maybe. I don't know. You know, something
It's
would
tough
have to take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now YouTube, I don't know. That could be a whole different story, right? Because as a content creator, you know, they are kind of one and the same, but they're also separate. You know, you could just be like, I'm too busy all of a sudden, or I'm burnt out on doing this, or whatever the case is, but you may still collect, right? So
Right.
that's
Good point.
Yeah, yeah. Never say never though. But I mean, I plan to be in it for. I mean, I'm in it this long, so you know.
Speaking of YouTube, what do you hate about creating content?
Ooh, being a self, like trying to be a perfectionist, man. That's what it is. That's what I hate the most. Because when you're making content, you know, you're always, or at least I am. I'm always kind of my own worst critic, right? I'm like, oh no, I could have maybe done that better. I want to do it just this way, or you know. And there's a lot of editing involved, depending on what I'm doing. Filming's not so bad. Like I said, I kind of enjoy doing it, but then, you know, going through and color grading and doing all this other stuff and editing and trying to make it like just how you think, right? I mean, but that may not be what other people think. They might be like, oh, I didn't really care for that. But
Right.
in my brain, I'm like, no, this is how I want to do it, and I'll keep doing it until I get it the way I want. And that sometimes that can get annoying because you get like hyper focused into something, and sometimes you can be like, this is fine. You could just, you know what I'm saying? It's fine. But in my brain, I'm like, no, I need to keep going, and then that can get kind of annoying. But
Sure.
the end product is always cool, though. At the end, you're like, all right, cool. It just sucks when things start stacking up on you.
I get it.
Ever have it happen where I got like 7 things I got to do, and I'm like, where do I start? I got to start somewhere. So,
Yeah, and I think I think just finding time is tough for me lately, just because we're working. Some people have families or hobbies outside of this one, and pretty much just trying to find any scrap of spare time to get like new content created is tough. But
no, time's killer, dude. I don't. Like it's already 7:00 tonight, and I feel like the day just started and it didn't. Like it just goes. You're like, dude, I don't know if I've. Yeah. Time is a big deal, dude.
Last question. What's your long-term plan or your focus with your display? Where do you want to take it, or because I know, I guess the question is, I want to know what's the state of your display now, because I know a while back you kind of got out of Marvel. Are you still out of Marvel? Are you focusing mainly on like Star Wars? What's kind of your display?
I kind of got a little
like?
bit of. I'm not out of anything per se, but I'm not full line deep into anything, right? Like, I mean, dude, I got rid of my Marvel, I got rid of all my Star Wars, I got rid of all my OT. I have some that you can't see. I still have some OT, but like I got rid of a lot of stuff because
I remember you were getting rid of like was it prequels or sequels and stuff, but you got rid of a lot of OT too.
All of it, dude. Well,
I remember Mando was you were getting rid of a lot of Mando stuff.
Yeah, the MCU went first, then there was the Mando purge because I just knew they were gonna 2.0 all that, so I was like, I'm out. And then sure shit they are. And then OT was a little tough. That was a little tough, but
hurts.
But here's the thing though, like, and it's hard to see back there, but I mean, I have so many one-offs, all my 80s, all my 90s stuff, and in my head I was like, this is what I really, really like. And granted, Star Wars fits that criteria, but I didn't need 130 Star Wars figures.
Sure.
I just didn't, and so I started thinking in my head, I'm like, what do I love the most? And then let's keep that. And sometimes that's hard. I mean, like, we'll talk about it a little later, right? Because we got a Prey figure coming out, and I'm like, do I need it? I mean, I like the movie, but I like looking at every single thing that I have and being like, dude, I love that. Like, I love that. I grew up with it or whatever. And so that's kind of where it's evolved over the years. But dude, who knows, man? In a couple years, I might be like, man, I fucking miss Spider-Man, and then have another, But as far as that and displays are always evolving, right? Because money's an issue, sure, for everybody, but we all manage our money somehow eventually. We figure out a pattern. What are we comfortable with spending every month? This or that, payment plans. We do that as collectors. We'll figure out the money thing later. It's the space, dude. That's the killer. Once you get up to those high numbers, those triple digit, figures or whatever, you're like, okay, I'm out of space. I have vehicles. I've got dozens and dozens, there's so much stuff. So I think your displays always change. I mean, I've had these garage racks for years, but I'm probably swapping them out. I'm gonna get some Moji cases, change some things up. So, I mean, yeah, dude, I think for the most part, your display is always evolving, or at least mine is. I can't keep it just like you ever rearrange your room, your living room. It's like that. You're like, dude, I just need to change it up. So,
yep.
I think it happens a little more often with me than some others, but I just never satisfied, like, because new things come out and you're like, wait a minute, this would look cool. Oh, now we have 3 new vehicles. Well, this doesn't look right. We got to change it all up. Got to get new cases. Got to move this over here. And yeah, it's never
something might hit the chopping block, Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, if it ain't bolted down, it's for sale. I mean, eventually, if that's what it takes, because you can always get this stuff. You can always. I've never in my entire time collecting, I've never seen something that's out of reach. Like you can get it. It may cost some money, but even then, like, things have dropped considerably over the past couple of years. So, like, it's not impossible for you to get something. If you want to go back and get some OT again, they're out there. They're for sale. It's not that bad.
Mhm.
So,
Did you move your Han and Luke stormtrooper disguise?
oh yeah, they were the first to go.
Wow.
I moved
literally were
those a while back, and I kind of regret it. And Sneaker never lets me forget about it.
Dude, I kind of do too, but I mean, I'm not
I have to
missing
think about it.
though.
How dare you guys?
I got a 6 scale bantha and some other cool stuff.
That's badass.
So, yeah, right. So I'm like, all right, I
He's like,
still have
okay,
That's
yeah.
cool.
I got representation of Star Wars. You know, I still have like 6 Lukes. I mean, I don't need all of those, but
That's true.
you know, yeah, and I got a couple Leias, stuff like that. So I mean, there's still rep there, but I don't feel like I needed everything. And you know, it's hard. It's hard staying like that. You know what I mean? Where you're like, this is all I collect. I mean, I applaud people who do that and have that commitment, but I like too much stuff, dude.
No, I hear you. I mean, I've been kind of breaking my own rules because it was always like one variant and that's it. Well, now I have like 3 Lukes. You know, Batman was kind of off the table when it came to that, but you know, I got a couple Leias and it's starting to kind of more and more is creeping in. But I'm kind of like you, where I'm always, these guys can tell you the same thing. I'm always changing it up, and then you know, all of a sudden figures go and new stuff comes in, and I'm probably the one that sells the most out of our group here, but. I don't know. I think it's the thrill of the new stuff and stuff you haven't had yet, but then also there's so much stuff coming. It's a hard hobby to just stay with it. And I don't know. And then space is something else too. So
it's the worst time to be a collector, but it's also the best time to be a collector.
It's a really good point.
Perfectly said.
Yeah, it really is, because we're kind of in this renaissance of sorts with all these, and not just Hot Toys. I mean, I don't know how much you guys collect outside of Hot Toys, but every company seems to have something we want. Yeah. Everybody. I mean, Caustic Plastics announcing they're doing Chuck Norris, like for example, like you know, for me, I'm like, oh hell yeah, he's gonna go on my 80 shelf. Like any which way I look, I'm being bombarded. Somebody's trying to take my money. So, and then if you're trying to get stuff backwards, then you're like, wait a minute, like everything is everywhere. There's so much good stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys want to ask Mafia while we have him kind of front and center here
in the hot seat?
In the hot seat.
Okay.
Dang.
Good answer.
I need a head.
Yeah, I appreciate the insight. It's always nice hearing insight of other collectors and kind of how they're curating things and going about their displays and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate a lot of those answers that you gave.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Well, look, because things are like Graham, you know, just said. I mean, there's so much new stuff too. I mean, I mentioned earlier,
sometimes.
First Avenger Cap, amazing figure in 2011. Really not so great now. You know, now if you have that attachment to that specific movie, then you hold on to sure. But all this new stuff is like, I mean, there's still some great old stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like, gosh, you guys have seen some of the recent new stuff. You're like, dude, this is like really, really, really good. Everybody's got rolling eyes. The sculpts are great. We got USB sabers, USB bases. I mean, it's hard to not be enticed by the new stuff at the same time, right? So then you're like, okay, well, maybe I've had this stuff for a while. I can get rid of it. That's okay. You know, it's your collection, bro. That's how I always looked at it. Like, no one's buying your figures. I don't think, right? No one's buying your stuff except you. So
the figure man.
Definitely not my wife.
Right. right. So I'm like, you know, because I never got that. I heard people say that shit all the time. Oh, why he's selling this or selling that? It's like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, it's your collection. It's your money. If you want to change it up, change it up. If you have 1 figure, if you have 400 figures, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want, you know, make the changes, dude.
Yeah, I think I have an attachment to all this stuff, but at the same time, I've always been almost, I guess you'd call it like a wheeler and a dealer. Like I can cut off that attachment and like move on to get the next thing, which can be good, but then sometimes it bites me in the ass. Cause like back when I first started collecting, I got rid of my Terminator and my RoboCop figures and my Crow and my Jack Sparrow, and I just regretted the hell out of it because I didn't know how it would fit with the IPs, you know, the 3 IPs, and then you have just a shelf of one-offs. But man, those figures are so damn cool. But then B, I have so much nostalgia for them that I just needed them back. Like, I think my Marvel looks good as a scene, like everybody together, but I don't value Hawkeye or Doctor Strange as much as I do like those individual figures. So I think I had to like learn that the hard way a little bit because I got them back. So,
Dude, no, I'm glad you got them back because that's like, I know exactly what you mean by that. Until you have like shelves of one-offs, right? And then you're like, okay, this is, you know, because like my top shelf is like all my 80s, my middle shelf's all my 90s or some. No, the top's 90s, the middle's 80s. But like, it's weird at first, right? Like you have a City Hunter. Okay, that's cool. Then you're like, where am I going to put that? With Endgame? That makes sense.
Right.
I'll get rid of it. But see, don't. And then just slowly start getting the things that you really, really like. Even if they're all one-offs, eventually you just have this. It's almost like you're just walking into like a, you know, a Blockbuster. You know, you're looking around at all the stuff, all the tape, you know, and you're like, oh, yeah, everything. I love all of this. And when you see it as a whole, it just. There's nothing. Marvel nothing can compete, dude, for what those memories meant to you. So that's
what makes everybody's collection unique, you know.
Yeah,
it's your collection, so you know, make it the way you want, and if everyone has the same collection tour, it's gonna suck. So just, you know, have your own collection. Be you.
There is that. You know, if you're on Facebook or, you know, Instagram, wherever, you know, there was times where, well, here comes the Ahsoka photos. Right. You know,
right. Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. But you know what I mean? You're like, okay, so then you're like, oh shit, everybody's got the same damn collection. What defines your collection? You know, I'm not saying that you have to be different, but you definitely want to have your own flair, right? I mean, what do you like? Don't get it because there's hype, you know, or it's popular. Get what the hell you love. Because otherwise you're spending money and you're like, oh shit, I don't like this. I'm selling it.
Right.
Then you can take a hit.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, Mafia, you just made me think of a question on this one here, if you don't mind. Regards to that, you've been doing this for a long time, and I think obviously, like every collector, there's different collectors around us now. Some who've been doing it for a while, some are just jumping in right now. So everybody, a couple people in the middle here. So my question to you is, like, have you ever found yourself in a situation during your years of collecting where you found yourself like kind of like in a rut with the hobby, maybe down on a little bit, and just kind of curious, like, what did you do to, like, you know, kind of shake that bad juju off and just kind of like keep pushing through like you've been doing all these years?
It's probably not the answer you want to hear, but so for the rut, well, my most recent rut was Star Wars, and I just didn't like what Disney's doing, and that was kind of my rut, and my solution was I got rid of everything. So you know, well, I was just like, I'm not really digging all this. Like, some stuff I like. It's not that I hate everything, but it kind of goes back to what I meant earlier. Like, I was getting everything, and then you're like, well, wait, why do I have every single Star Wars figure? Like, I like Star Wars, but I don't like everything. So it's like those kind of ruts happen to me where I'm like, I'm just not feeling this anymore. Kind of similar with MCU. I'm not really digging the new stuff, right? So, like, I'm excited for that Mark III 2.0. I'll probably get that because I was like, that's Iron Man. Like, you know, that first time I saw it in the theater, I was like, whoa, that was okay. So there's certain things like that. But yeah, when I hit like a consecutive rut, but I think that has to do with the property, right? Because like I said, I didn't like the new stuff that they've been doing. So I'm like, why am I buying this? I'm not really enjoying it. And there's so much other stuff out there that wants my money that I want, you know? So it's like, okay, let's take a step back. But that's probably the only thing I can really think of as far as a rut. I mean, you either like it or you don't. If you don't like it, I'm just like, why am I getting it? I'm just not going to get it. There's way too much cool stuff out there.
100% agreed.
Yeah, perfectly said. You guys, anybody else have a question? Otherwise, there's a couple in the chat here. Okie dokie. Let's see here. What third-party sellers are you into?
Third-party sellers,
or maybe just third-party figures.
Maybe, dude, it just depends, dude. Like, if something's made, if they're gonna make something like Mars Toys, they're making, you know, a lot of 89, well, some obviously 66 Batman stuff too, but a lot of 89 stuff that Hot Toys just isn't doing. I'm into that. You know, I'm pretty much, you know, if somebody's gonna make something that I like, I'm gonna go with them. I don't really have a brand loyalty per se, right? When it comes to that, right? Because if you want something, or I don't know, Present Toys though, they kind of tried to recast the DX10 and 13, the Terminators, but
it was a good attempt, but
yeah, but like I wouldn't get it. Well, I mean, I have DX10, but you know what I mean. Like I don't have 13. I still need to get that. I never bought it. I should have, but like I wouldn't buy that, for example. I'd be like, nah, I'm just gonna go get the 13. So I mean, yeah, I mean, if it just basically if anybody makes something that I'm interested in, I don't care. I'll check it out. You know.
Yeah, I agree. It's just the eye test for me. You know, if it looks great, I'm gonna be interested in it.
Exactly. If it looks like, you know, I mean, So dropped. Well, I don't know if they fully showed off their blade. I saw a picture of it last week. That looks pretty good. I know Present Toys did their blade, but I mean, if the So one looks better, I'm gonna go with that. You know.
Well, who made the penguin? Was that Eternal Toys recently?
Yeah. And then Mars is still doing theirs, and I almost want to say there's one more somebody doing it.
Yeah, the Eternal Toys look great, but at the same time, I'm thinking, Mars has just been doing some good stuff, so I'm going to sit back and kind of see what they come up with first. You know. But I got the art figures, Edward Scissorhands, which is probably one of my most hated figures, but it looks good.
Yeah.
But it was just a bitch to put together and whatnot. So,
like 6 months ago, let it go, dude.
I can't.
Right.
It's gonna be on my video.
That thing's on the chopping block this month. It's getting sold.
No, nobody's gonna want to buy that. Let's see here. Chris says, I have a question for Mafia. Why is Star Ace still allowed to make things?
I don't know, man. Because they have the license, and you know the weird thing is, look, Star Ace, they're expensive, and I don't really think the quality's there. I don't really want to like bash on a company, but I just, for what I feel like you're paying for, you're not. I don't think you're getting the value, personally. You know, I mean, you got 3-0 that's doing stuff for $150, and it's great for $150. You know, I mean, like all these Stranger Things. Yeah, you know, the paint app's a little soft. You know, sculpt's not what you may expect from like a Hot Toys, but again, you know, you're getting what you pay for, right? And I feel like with Star Ace, I'm kind of like, dang, you want $300 for that? Like, nah, I'm good. But somebody's buying it. They're still in business.
They're surviving.
They survived where Big Chief Studios did not. So I don't know.
Eddie says, how did Mafia get his foot in the door when it comes to X06?
Oh, honestly, dude, I just reached out a long time ago before all this started going on, and when I realized what they were going to start doing, I'm like, yo, I need to be in on this, and just reached out, man, showed them what I could do, and then the rest was history.
It's dope. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
I love it. I'm a diehard Trekkie, like, so to me, it's still like
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and you know,
really cool
you
game.
can't believe it sometimes. You know, I'm like, wow, this is really cool, man. Like, I really love it. So, yeah, I just reached out, man. That never hurts, man. Always reach out to people in whatever it is you want to do, man. Because nobody knows you unless you make yourself heard.
Sure.
You know, that goes with anything in life.
Yeah, that's true. Casablanco has a random question. How do you feel about Terminator Salvation? Just saw it yesterday and I thought it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. I actually thought it was pretty impressive. It didn't really do the best, but I don't know. As a movie as a whole, I liked it a lot. I don't know what you guys think.
Not
Salvation?
a big fan, but it's okay.
Yeah, I thought Salvation was good.
I didn't
It's got,
finish it, so.
Christian Bale. What?
Yeah.
Oh, is this Salvation, the one with Christian Bale, like
Yeah, Christian
back in
Bale. This one came out a while
2009
ago.
or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great movie. I was thinking of the one with Emilia Clarke in it. What was that one
Oh,
called?
Genesis.
Genesis.
That one
yeah.
started
Yeah.
good,
Fucking
but then
ass.
went off the rail quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
My bad.
Salvation's not bad. The thing is I wanted more of the future war with the,
Sure.
you know, it's
For
darker,
sure.
you know, dark blues, cool lasers, like that 80s vibe that you got from the future war. And they're like, hey, we're going to give you this future war kind of thing, and we're going to make it a trilogy. And then it was all just brown, earthy,
Right.
really desaturated movie. And I was like, this isn't like, it's like Mad Max or some shit, like in the desert. It just didn't feel, to me, it didn't give me that vibe. I mean, I felt there was like some desolation there. Like there was obviously like a post-apocalyptic scenario, but just, I don't know, it didn't hit for me, dude. I don't know why. It wasn't horrible. Not one of my favorites.
I think I liked it.
Yeah, it
for the
could've
same
been a
reason
banger,
I
man.
liked. Yeah, I liked it for the same reason I liked Predators, because they tried to do something different than what the previous movies had done. It was kind of the same thing, and then they're like, well, let's think outside the box. Let's do something different. Maybe it wasn't the best film, of the franchise, but I think that's why I gravitated towards them.
No, I give them that. I like when they do things different, but I don't want you to go too far off. Like Last Jedi or something. But like don't subvert my expectations. Give me something neat and exciting, sure. But no, I mean Salvation was all right, but obviously it didn't. I mean, there's no trilogy, so because they wanted to.
That
do
was
something
like guilty.
That.
Yeah, that was a guilty pleasure movie for me. So I know a little bit of the background. So it's been ages though. But remember, like Christian Bale had like that whole heated conversation with like a guy
with the lights,
and like that went viral and stuff like that.
Oh, his meltdown.
Where, he pissed somebody off and they recorded it. Yeah, his meltdown. Yeah. But what happened like shortly after that, the ending of the movie leaked, and then they had to change it because originally the concept was that John Connor was supposed to die at the end of that movie, and the Terminator that Marcus. I think that was the name of the Terminator in that movie, the stealth one. He was supposed to replace him as John Connor. So the Terminator was actually supposed to be John Connor in the future movies. When that got leaked, they switched it to the ending we got there.
Wow.
That would have been a badass sequel if the Terminator was John Connor now.
That would be kind of crazy, yeah. Yeah, we'd have to see how that... I don't know. Do Terminator, Aliens, Predator even... I don't know how they keep like. Is it nostalgia? I don't think it's nostalgia because I think like 1 and 2 of all those are the best, and then I thought like they just kept getting progressively kind of. I mean, you mentioned Predators, that was cool, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, like, what are you guys doing? I don't know. I don't know if it's just the change of writers or I feel like these franchises. I'm like, oh, here comes another one, and I shouldn't feel that way, right?
Yeah. It's pretty much like horror movies too. Like you have Halloween and I mean those 3 movies. I mean, I'm a huge Halloween fan, but the last 3 that Carpenter did when he came back, like the first one was okay that he did, and then like the last one was terrible. And it's like just slowly getting worse. But yeah,
just
sometimes they should just let it rest. Yeah. Because then it kind of tarnishes that, right? Like you're always gonna have that feeling for the original, right? But oh, I love that movie because when I was a kid, RoboCop, but then if they make too many of something,
it's in the back of your mind.
Kind of like, but what they did with it, kind of like a TV series too, when they just keep it going and going and going, it just has a shitty ending.
Telling you, all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. Yeah. So that's kind of where that's where I'm at with Star Wars. Like for what you're saying, I'm like, oh, well, you make me think of all this stuff now. So I'm like, yeah, sucks.
Let's see, one more here. Let's see, TK Magic Shop. Let me see where you are here. Do you guys have any custom 6-scale figures that you've put together yourself? So like kit bashes, I'm assuming. No, not me. DLO is probably the closest one here. I know he's had some work done, but I don't think.
Yeah, on my figures, not me. But yeah, I've got two kit bashes for Han Solo. I've got a Bespin one made and an Endor one made. So that was those look good. Those look good. And what else did I do? Oh, recently I did a John Wick 1. So I got the turtleneck version of John Wick in the suit, and I did the Nightmare Joker as well. I got that one customized, repainted, rooted, put the whole
that one's sick
third-party suit on it there, and it kind of made it like an official hot toy. Like it's pretty good.
Very nice. How about you, Anthony? Do you have anything kit bashed?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, like some are like custom. Like I got my Magnum PI, but I'll do some stuff. I made like a custom Punisher. With I think it was. I don't want to say it was Daft Toys. I don't remember who made these 2 Frank Castle head sculpts, but that's throwing on the custom outfit on a Fison, or I got a custom. I think Daft Toys did the Peter Parker, the PS4 Spider-Man head before they changed him to that other guy. I don't know if you've seen that, or was that Lim Toys? I don't remember who did it. Daft? I don't know.
It was Lim Toys,
so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made like a custom Peter Parker with stuff like that. We'll mix things up. I got a custom animated Tony Stark for my comic Iron Man. Of course, now they came out with the new one, but yeah. So yeah, I'll play around. If there's something I want and I see that there's parts out there that I could do something with, I'll do. But as far as like buying a custom, I haven't really pulled the trigger because it's like $2-3 grand. I'm like,
yeah, that's tough pill to swallow when you're spending that much money on one figure. So I get that. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, guys, should we get into some new figures that are coming here?
Let's get into it, man.
That was announced. All right, so let's just bring this up and bring this up. So this was the Venom from the Spider-Man 2 video game that was announced. It was teased when we did our show last week, but it was announced just shortly after we got off the air. And I think all of us on the panel were extremely blown away at the sheer size of this thing. And even the price when I found out what the price was afterwards. But yeah, I just want to get your guys' opinions about this. If it's something that you think you might get, is this too big? Should Hot Toys not do figures this big? I mean, it's pretty much the same size as the original Hulk, but a little bit shorter than the Hulk Buster. Brick, you're right below me. I want to start with you as I know you're a huge Venom fan. So what are your thoughts on this? You do have the Venom 2.0.
I do.
What are your thoughts on this? And does it make you want to get this, or are you okay with what you have?
I think this figure is dope as hell. I mean, it has the logo on the front. It's massive. It's from the video game that's doing very well that I'm playing right now. So the more that I play the game, the more I want this figure. Last week when we kind of talked about it off air, I was like, oh, it's too big. Like, I'm not getting this. I have nowhere to put it.
He's already coming
but
around.
Man, like, I'm on the fence now. I'm not turned around completely. I'm on the fence. It's a decent price for the size that it is. So that kind of brought me back to it a little bit. I thought it was going to be like a $500 figure.
I thought it was going to be more.
Yeah, I thought this, but like, where the hell am I going to put it? That's the only thing for me. But man, like I said, I'm a huge Venom fan. This is like my Joker to a lot of people is Venom, and I mean he would look pretty badass in a display, but it's just finding that display first. I got a year, right, or so I could figure it out, but yeah, it's tough.
Well, Brick, you're in luck because in 2 days, Maju Case is having 30% off, so you could get some DFs. Man, as long as you just make sure you spend $1,500 first. So
spend that $1,500.
Yeah, that could be something you want to invest in, to get this figure.
I'm good.
Buying a case just to
see my problem is I have this hobby and then Lego, so I just spent $450 on a Lego set that's retired, but yeah, I mean this is something that I definitely want to get. I'm not even at the Venom part yet in the game, but I feel the build up. And I know for damn sure I'm going to want this figure once I see it. So, man.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for you when this
because I do have the 2.0 Peter Parker, and I got the Miles coming. So, I kind of need it, right? And it kind of opens up the door, too. Like, are we going to get a Craven or, Black Cat? Or what are they going to do with this line? Are they going to keep going?
That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Like the first game, I'm like, wow, you didn't do any of the villains.
Like, give us a bunch of alt suits.
Not one.
Yeah.
Give us so many alt suits, but don't do any villains.
Right.
Yeah, something about Hot Toys. They just they don't like doing villains as much.
They didn't, right? And I think once we hit Far From
No Way Home,
No Way Home, right? They were like, I know.
I do that every episode, bro.
Like all those names.
I don't know which home we're talking about.
Right?
Whose home were we talking?
Once that came out, right? They were like, hey, listen, we hear you guys. Like, we're committed to doing villains. Remember, they made a post specifically about that. They were like, hey, we're gonna do villains, like basically a lot of them, and sure shit they did. So I was like, and we're starting to see that a little bit more. So hopefully, they're evolving. Maybe they didn't think that people wanted a lot of villains, but no, we do, man, because that's what makes the stories cool. And we need those antagonists that our heroes can overcome, or maybe we just like the bad guys,
especially now because Yeah, especially now because we have so many of the superheroes and so many different variants of them. Like we need villains now, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice that we're getting some.
DLO, are you in or are you
Graham.
out?
I'll let you know in about a year and a half. This one's tougher than it usually is for me here. No, I'm with Brick. I mean, I have the Venom from the movies, and which great figure. Honestly, I've always said that if that figure had, you know, the symbiote logo on it, that would be the perfect Venom for my collection there. You know, that's always been just my only gripe. That figure is phenomenal. Having said all that, this one has it, and it looks a lot like the one I already have, but higher scale to it there. So it's tough, right? Because it's a matter of, not that I don't want it, and it's not a matter that I don't love it. I think it's gorgeous, but it's just like, now we're talking space. And that's where I am right now, where it's not if I had the space and the space wasn't a problem, this would be 100%. But because of the sheer size of this one here, something has to get subtracted. I got to be disciplined to make sure that I don't overstock, you know, my cases there, because this requires more space. I mean, this is only the second tallest 1/6 figure we've ever had outside of a Hulkbuster. So that's pretty damn big. That's pretty damn big. Now, can I squeeze it in? Sure. But do I want to squeeze it in and then have everything around it look not as good because I had to, you know, kind of force that one in there? That's where I'm not sure if I want to do it yet. But yeah, I think on its own, not considering whether I'm going to pick it up or not, this is probably the best Venom figure, in my opinion, I've seen Hot Toys make. Like, as far as that part is concerned, I think anybody who is in a position to buy it and doesn't have a Venom or is considering picking up their first one, I think this is a hell of a good one, because for me, I try to stay away from the video game lines when it comes to Hot Toys, just because I like to go for the realism of the figures more than I like to do just like collecting the video game style, just for me personally. But this one is cool because I can kind of get away with this one because it does look very close to the Venom from the movie, enough to where I think if I put that one in there and let's say I subtracted my other Venom, it would look really well with the live action Spider-Man line that I'm going for. So
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. It's not 100% coming home, but it's pretty darn close. I just need to figure it out. So I need more time. But as a figure on its own, best Venom I've ever seen.
Wow. Okay. Sneaker, I know you're getting this.
I am.
And because you are, you're all in here.
I am.
What do you think of the value on this at $455?
Oh yeah, it's a good value. I mean, I think everybody thought this was going to come in over $500, right? Based on what Carnage, I think 510. Carnage Deluxe was 510, right? So I thought, like, based on just the sheer size of this thing was going to come in over 500 is what my thought was. So the price point, I think, is definitely fair considering what these other, you know, what the other Venom went for. You know, I think it's just the sheer size of this has been.
Well, and it's what, $10 more than Carnage?
Yeah, I think it's Carnage 545, and this one's, or I'm sorry, 445, and
this one's it's like $10.
$10 difference. I know what you mean, but yeah, I think from a value standpoint, like I think it's fair. You know, just like looking back at one of my cases, this thing's gonna be like 3 inches to spare in a DF. Like that's a massive. This is so tall, but yeah. So like we kind of talked about it last week, but this was like. This line is the one that's kind of pushing me into doing, you know, like this will be Miles is my first Spider-Man figure. I get him tomorrow. He's coming in the mail tomorrow. And then Advanced Suit 2.0 Spidey's coming too whenever he gets released. So I have them. They're my first 2 Spider-Man figures. But so like video games are like a soft spot for me. I love video games. Game my whole life. I've been playing this game. Yeah, this is like, for me, this hits not only like the collecting realm, but the video game realm. Like that's a slippery slope for me when it comes to collecting stuff. I kind of said it like probably like a couple months ago when we were talking about video game stuff now. Like I'm glad that it seems like Hot Toys, hopefully they're learning from how big this game is that they can really like capitalize on more video game lines. I wish they would like do more stuff with video games and take it a little bit more seriously. Like I brought up in the past too, Jedi Survivor would have been one that I would have really loved to see, like, give us Cal, give us like Marin,
Master Chief.
Give us like a Master Chief. Like we've talked about this in the past, but like there's so much video game stuff if they went down those, you know, those roads that I would be like definitely into it. But Yeah, I never would have thought that I would be the first one, you know, in our group to say that I'm the one that's going to actually be definitively getting this figure out of everybody. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I have the space for it though, too. I think that's obviously, like we've all been talking about, space is a huge factor. One interesting thing I want to talk about though, like, I guess since this was announced, it seems like everybody has been talking about like, this is too big of a figure. This is like, it's just way too big. I'd rather have something smaller. It's accurate to the game. Like this is to the scale of the game. This is a Spider-Man 2 Venom. It's not like a Venom that's being announced for a comic book version so this is accurate to scale. I think we talked about it last week and I was like, this is going to be like a 20 to 24 inch figure, right? It's huge. And it's just accurate to the game. That's the way that they chose to go. This is going to look awesome if you have the space, but yeah, I'm thinking like a DF-120, this and 2 Spider-Man. Like I'm going to have a whole entire case dedicated, I guess, to Spider-Man 2 just for, these 3 figures. And then I'm sure hopefully they do a Kraven and maybe do some other figures from this line. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. This is like centerpiece level with how big it is. It's just like a massive, figure. I don't have anything like this. Like, I guess like 1-to-1 looking at, like this is taller than 1-to-1 Grogu. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's a huge, this thing's going to be just massive. So, no, I actually pre-ordered it. I'm definitely picking this up. I will be very excited to get this one. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And you made a good point. I think sometimes people just have to complain about something. If they didn't make this, they'd be complaining, or, now it's too big, or
yeah, everybody wanted this figure. Everybody's like, make Venom from the game. That'd be so awesome if we got a Venom. And like this, to me, I'd rather it be to scale and do it right and full on like the game. And then, if you really, really want it and you really like the game version, now's your opportunity. Is it big? Yeah. But if you really want it, then, you'll figure out something.
Here's a question though for you guys. Do you think anybody would be complaining if they made the Venom again, they made it the same scale that the other ones were, but they put the logo on the chest, so it looks just like this, but it's the same scale as the other Venom? Do you think people would be upset that it wasn't in scale, or that maybe they'd be more prone to get it?
Like if they called it, if they labeled it Spider-Man 2?
But it's the same size as the Venom you've gotten before. Just difference is the you probably get a logo bag.
If they labeled it Spider-Man 2 and made it to scale of the smaller Venom, I would be saying this is not to scale for the game. It's not accurate to the game. You know what I mean? That would be my opinion.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, honestly, we've talked about like we had a big conversation about accuracy for figures, right? To me, this is accurate to the game. It's releasing as a video game line character figure. If they want to go back and do like a different variation, they can do it in a smaller scale. But this one that they're making specific to the game, so I'm good with the size of it because that's what it is for the game. I'm all for that.
Gotcha. Mafia, what are your thoughts on this? I know you said it's a little probably too large for your display, but overall thoughts.
I love Venom. First, let me just say that. I mean, Venom's tattooed on me right here. Like, I love Venom.
Nice.
Badass.
I love Venom, dude. But, gee, this thing is freaking huge. Look, I get it, though, right? I haven't played the game yet. Like I said earlier, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 forever right now. So I'm like,
nice.
I haven't touched Spider-Man yet. But, as you guys are saying, this is in scale. So, okay, I guess Venom's super big in the game. So, he's going to be super big in 6 scale form. I don't know. Like, if you remember, it was 2-3 years ago when Venom came out, I did a review on him, and I loved that figure. I did not like the movie, didn't like the second movie for that matter either, but I loved Venom, right? So I bought it, and it was a great figure, man. It might have been it was definitely up there as one of the best figures of that year. Like, that Venom was really good. If you guys have it, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just, it's really well made for what he is. I got rid of him because I knew back then, I was like, there's gonna be a Spider-Man 2, like, like here we are, it's happening now. So I was like, all right, but dude, I did not expect him to be this big. So it depends, dude. Like, he could very well fit, like one of those first photos that you showed where like he was kind of standing like the tyrant from Resident Evil. I know that's kind of like a weird reference, but like the way he was standing, he had his arm up, just kind of like that weird stoic pose, and he had one arm up with the symbiote coming off of it. That
Yeah, that's wild.
that one was cool, but there was another one where he's just kind of like chilling and he's looking down. That's fucking huge. I don't remember. It's one of these photos, but it's pretty much how I think it's coming up. That's like that. Like that's cool, man. Like you can have him just standing there somewhere. I don't know. I'd have to put him on like a top shelf or something, right? And then you're like, okay, because I don't really collect a lot of Spider-Mans right now anymore, right? So it's hard. Like you could get this, you can get the advanced, so you can get Miles, maybe call it a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but I don't even know if I'm gonna do that. So then you got the black suit Spidey as well, and you're like, dude, this is like a whole line. In. So it's hard. Like I don't know yet. Maybe in a year I'll know for sure, but I think he looks awesome, dude. I think he looks awesome. This is probably, like you said, is probably the best Venom this is the best Venom they've put out so far. I don't even need it in hand to tell you that. It is Spider-Man 2, right? He doesn't have his white pieces of his glove on his outfit there, and the spider symbol seems to go way up. But again, it's Sony's game, so it's game accurate, right? So that's cool for what it is, man. It looks pretty awesome though, man. I ain't gonna lie, this looks, but you're gonna have to do something with him. Like if you don't have him standing, you're gonna have to crouch him down real low. Maybe have him over Peter, having Miles fighting. You can do stuff. Like I don't think a lot of people are gonna just have their Venom and just sit him on a shelf and like have him. You know what I mean? You're gonna bend him around, man. You're gonna have to mess with him.
Yeah.
And you definitely not gonna have a DTOF because that shit ain't gonna work. I mean, yeah.
No, the crazy thing about him is, the crazy thing about him here is just that after we found out like what the size of this was, I needed to look up comparisons here just because obviously like that sounded pretty tall. So when I started looking up, he is taller than literally every quarter scale figure ever made by Hot Toys.
Huge,
a 1/6 Venom is bigger than that. So it's a tough one, man. I still feel for like, there's still collectors out there that are still rocking DTOFs, man. I mean, that's gonna mean you have to take out a shelf, or lower one at least, or two, right?
Yeah.
It'll be like squeezed in there.
A whole
we're talking DTOFs and all that stuff. Like everybody has module cases, but man, I mean, I feel bad for that collector that is not doing that. That's a harder call for them.
Yo, is this even gonna fit in a DF 120?
Yeah, barely.
It's
like 3 inches from the top.
Okay, because I was like,
so it'll clear it.
All right.
You couldn't you probably couldn't do like that hand up pose though. Like that.
No,
you probably touch the top of it, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
and then you add the base. It's another probably inch.
Yeah.
But the funny thing with the base though, is it's like the same size as like the old Venom and like a Thanos type or a Hulk. He doesn't even fit on it.
Yeah.
So maybe
no, he won't fit on that at all.
It's just funny that they didn't scale the base to kind of fit the figure. It's not like a deal breaker or anything by any means, but I think it's just kind of comical.
Oh, it totally is. Look at that, dude. Can you imagine though? I mean, then think about that. They would make a new base, which isn't that big of a deal for them to do, but that would be a huge base. I mean, so, I mean, yeah, you have the height on this guy, but then you're going to have a bigger footprint, right? I mean, that base is going to be like that, like, because you want to spread his legs like that. I mean, but it does look funny. Like, geez, the same base, but
yeah.
How did Brick in Mafia, you two, like, had the Venom figure? How's the material if you put him like in dynamic poses? Like, does the material
super
of the figure, does it hold up pretty well? Like if you articulate him and everything?
The way I can explain it is, okay, so let's say you got your arm, right? And you bend your arm like this, and that's like how all figures are, right? Well, Venom has like these weird ditches in there and behind his knees, right? It's kind of hard to explain, but they basically curve in really, really, really shallow, like deep, I guess I could say. So when you ratchet down, there's no touching. It's if you have the, what I'm talking about.
I gotcha. So you're not you're not just like mashing the material of the limbs together. No, yeah, that's cool.
And he kind of has like Iron Man legs of sorts where you got to like pop them down a couple of notches because.
And with the shoulders.
Yeah, some of the shoulder a little too, because if you rotate upward, you're gonna start rubbing rubber to rubber, and you can start kind of peeling it. So that's why they gave him that, so he has even more height, because you can pop those down to get him in like a nice crouch position. And
yeah, that's cool. So shouldn't really have a problem like worrying about the figure too much, posing him dynamically.
No, that thing was great.
That's what I'm gonna want to do for sure, is like get this in a really cool.
You should be able to pose the shit out of him, dude. I don't know how wide like the shoulders are gonna come out.
Yeah.
Just because of the way this is designed, but I mean, they can pose, man. That Venom could really pose pretty good. Yeah, for its size, yeah, dude, no problems.
Do you think this figure, do you think this will drive enough people, even just with? I know a lot of people really wanted the emblem on the chest with the other Venoms. They that was the one thing I heard the most. Do you think that alone just drives people to figure it out later, get the figure and figure out what you're going to do with it, or do you think size ultimately will come down to people's decision?
Yeah, I think
that's a turn.
Size is going to play. Yeah.
Size.
Yeah.
Any other nitpicks or things that you don't like about it? Because it is a solid figure, but is there anything you guys saw like you're not so sure about? Like the one thing, let me just get to it quick. You kind of have the gap here. Sometimes that pisses people off, but it's like, what do you want to do? You want to articulate this thing. You're going to have some of these exposed joints, but do you think that looks okay? Do you have any issues with this thing? I think it looks pretty sweet. I like it that they actually kind of muted the veins a little bit too from the previous version, but I'll let you guys just jump in.
I think the joints look fine. Sorry, Mafia, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I was just to say, I think the joints look fine because he has a lot of like creasing in his body too. So he's like with the black coloring, it's just like, I feel like you can't really, it blends in really well with the contrast with the white and the black. And then just with all the divots and stuff for the texture of his body, like I don't really have any issue with that. And I love the smiling face also. That's one of the things I wanted to say. Like that smiling head sculpt for some reason. Like I just really like that one without the tongue sticking out.
So do
I love.
I think that one looks so cool to me.
Yeah. I love the tongues compared to the other one too. I like how thin it is and how it curves around like that. I like that a lot. So, and then the emblem, how it has all those cracks in it.
Yeah, that's
gives
pretty
it some
sweet
detail. That's badass. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna see. Like, I get there's preferences out there, but you're not gonna notice this shit, dude, at all.
Yeah.
This is gonna be on your shelf. You're gonna be like, that's awesome. That's Venom right there. Like, you're not gonna be like, what is that weird? Oh, his arms. It's not even gonna happen, dude.
What is that line?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason people even scrutinize so much in photos is because we're zoomed in, dude. I mean, we're taking. I mean, I do it even with work. I mean, like you're working in 6 scale. You're not going to take a shot from 10 feet away. We need to show you and highlight things. That's what people are always complaining about head sculpts, and then they get it and they're like, "Oh, this is so much better in hand." Well, no shit.
It's true.
Because you're not doing this with all your figures. Once you got them on the shelves, dude, this thing's gonna look awesome. There's no way, dude. I don't think anybody's really gonna complain. It's just it's zoomed in, so we see these things and we're like, "Oh, look, there's this or there's that." But nah, man. I don't think there's ever really been a horrible figure, to be honest. Like with things like that, like they all look great on your shelf, dude.
Even the Harley Quinn with the weird knees, the original, like on your shelf, you really don't even notice anything like that. So, and I remember the golden armor Wonder Woman. Remember when her photos dropped and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this looks terrible." The blogger photos, and then people are getting her in hand and they're like, "Oh yeah, she actually looks really good." Like that was one of the figures that stuck out in my mind too, where the blogger photos didn't really do it justice, and then once you get it in hand, it does look a lot better. So,
oh, it totally does, man. And I don't know how many. I mean, you guys all have figures behind you, and I know, like in casual everyday life, maybe you're walking around or you're sitting, you're at a distance, and you just look at your display. I don't think any of us are even really looking at like the little things like, oh, this joint's exposed right here, or this or that sculpt may not look as accurate. Because I'm telling you, from 5 feet away, 10 feet away, whatever, when you're looking at however you're viewing your display, dude, everything comes to life. So it's just meant to be viewed at a certain distance. Does that make any sense?
That's a really good point. That's actually a really good point. I feel like if like it'd be interesting to like go back and look at like critique, like when figures come out and like critiquing them And then once you get him in hand, how much of that really matters to you, like later on, you know, because we like get, obviously like we get like breaking it down and getting nitpicky about certain things. But yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying as far as like, we're not getting really, really up close all the time. And like, usually we aren't really as picky about those things.
No, we're not. I mean, the only thing I would argue is I just don't like single joints, right? That's different.
Yeah.
Because that's actual like functionality of your figure, right? You're like, I can't put. Right, but you know, for aesthetics, I'm like, dude, this looks great. I mean, again, I mean, like I said earlier, man, we're like in this crazy golden age right now where there's so much good stuff, man. I don't really think they've, and even if you just hyper focus on just Hot Toys, I don't think they've put out anything horrible. I really don't. People complained about Doc Ock. I think he looks all right. You know.
What about Doc Brown?
Listen, look, they're not going to get a win for me on that one because that was just lazy, bro.
You crossed the line.
I have 2 identical Doc Browns, basically. I mean, I don't get it. You know, they gave me the sculpt I already have from part 2, so I was like, really? So, but the sculpt still looks good. It's just a lazy on their part, right? They didn't give us a new one.
Lazy, but doesn't make it like bad quality, essentially.
Right. The quality, he's still Doc.
Quality's still on point. Yeah. It's just they could have, they take the easy route.
Pissed me off. Yeah, and the cardboard plutonium, but I mean, started, man, it pissed me off, man.
So I have a question for you guys with the symbiote suit here. So is that coming out of his leg, or are those attachments? And same with his back. Because you know how Carnage, it comes like that, but then Venom, you have to like attach all the different little symbiote heads. Yeah. What's this one? Is this one like are those attachments or
they're plugins?
Because you're not gonna get it in a box like that. Like, you see what I mean? You see how they're like the whole texture is like layered on top. There's probably a hole just right in the middle. It's gonna
you can actually see 2 more hidden right now behind the symbol. If you look a little lower down.
I mean, Carnage had all those little ones on his arms, so that's why I was kind of like wondering. You know,
these look like they clip in, though, right? Or like they grab on.
These seem much
like
bigger.
friction fit.
On that figure, that's probably 3 inches right there.
I didn't look. Again, I've been lost in my own world of D&D, but did they put out secret base photos of this? Because usually they'll have everything on display.
Yeah, they have like the secret base display, like with him dynamic, like kind of in like a crouch down pose with in like a and then like Spider-Man and Miles are posed next to him.
Okay,
like,
so I didn't know if he had everything laid out where we can see.
There's not like everything. Separate. So like they didn't put in. There's some stuff that's not in the display case. Like the smiling kind of like the smiling head sculpt. I don't think was in there. So like there's not. I don't know what else is missing from there. They didn't have every single piece though. I don't think. But yeah, there were secret base photos of this.
Okay, so that more than likely, those things attach. I don't think it's.
I think they do. I think I remember seeing like DLO mentioned it too. I think in some of the photos you can see like where the holes are. If I remember from the secret base photos.
Yeah, if you look in the second photo on the right, I mean, right below where the tentacle is, like you can see, you can see the insertion holes right there. So I mean, those pop out, and you just stick some more tentacles in there, like the other Venom was.
Here, let me see here.
Okay.
They'll probably give us little caps too.
Yeah, these right here.
Because that's what we got with Venom.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't even notice those. That's another thing. I didn't even notice those were there like that.
Yep.
Yeah. They're easy to pop off too. Just pop them on, pop them off.
It looks really good. They did a good job just blending it.
I mean, this is essentially the same Venom, but just upscaled, larger. That's all it is. I mean, if it looks like the torso looks exactly the same, just
similar construction. Yep.
That's why I like it so much because, like I said before, like it's video game. I tend to stay away, but this looks very close to Venom I have, just bigger and obviously a little bit different design. So that's why, I haven't said no to this one here because it's nice and it looks pretty darn good. And I think it'd fit very well if I decided to pick that up and sell the other one.
I think
you think it would go good with Carnage though if you don't have the other Venom, but you have Carnage.
See, I think it would actually go better with Carnage because Carnage is supposed to be smaller. So that's always been kind of something I kind of was going to live with. But like if I go with this one here, this is going to be bigger than Carnage. So like to me, all's well again, you know, if I had to nitpick.
Right.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I think it might look a little weird next to Carnage, but that's just my brain.
That'll be an interesting one to see him next to Carnage.
I think it will look fine because, I mean, a lot of the OG fans know that Carnage is a lot smaller. But like
Yeah.
the movie, I mean, he was slightly bigger than like the comic books and whatnot. But so if you're putting this next to it, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But for me, if I get this figure, I'm keeping the Venom 2.0 from the movie as well. I'm not going to get rid of it.
Right.
Just to have like a separate, like, hey, I got this with the two Spideys, and then I got the Venom and Carnage together facing Tom Holland Spider-Man or something like that. So yeah.
One hack too for these plugins here is you just take a flathead screwdriver and you just jam it underneath and pry it up.
Man, perfect.
And then you'll easily be able to get that out, and you should be good, right?
I'm joking.
Nice.
I had to find a way to
Nice,
fill that in
dude.
there.
Oh, that's great.
That works.
That is beautiful.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that to your figures, especially a rubber
Yeah, I
figure.
was about to try it out.
Joking.
I'm joking.
Oh, amazing.
Let me just check in with the chat here really quick. Tristan says, I don't understand why people complain so much about the exposed joints. I completely agree. Even fine art paintings are meant to be viewed at a certain distance. Too close and the illusion breaks down. Really, that's a really good analogy as well. Bob Dylan says, never let fallen leaves distract from the beauty of the forest. You guys are very poetic here tonight.
Deep.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So let's see. Christian says, I'm looking at 3 vehicles right now. Bat Bike, Tumbler, and the DeLorean. What do you think I should prioritize? Well, depends on what you love the most.
If you're talking about the 2022 Pattinson, I think that bike's gonna drop tonight.
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Little
so-
birdie told us that as well.
Yeah. So
that cycle.
will it
That's it. I'm
fly
getting
off the
that.
shelves? I don't know. But if you're talking about that, I mean, the Tumbler is always on sale. DeLorean's not going anywhere. It's really
That
not.
cycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really-
Hold on a second. Wait a second. This is gonna drop tonight. Like that. Like
Probably.
Batman's gotta like be very
Right around
very
the corner
close,
then.
right?
Yeah,
Gotta
baby.
be really really close.
Let's go.
That's
We've been
exciting.
waiting.
That's exciting.
Mafia, are you
Yeah.
getting any of those? Are you getting the Batman?
Oh man, I didn't pre-order anything.
No.
Man, it's tough for you guys when you're like with all the space. Yeah, the space and like just having so much stuff is like tough.
Space, and I'm like locked in, man.
Yeah.
I'm like locked into decades.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
which could mean you're going to be missing out on new things. It's not like I don't like new things. I do, but I don't know yet. Because again, the space, dude. If I was rich.
Yeah,
well,
right.
If we were all rich, none of this would matter, right? We'd be like, I'm getting it all. I don't even care. The movie was cool. I'm buying it. But yeah, I got to really be choosy these days.
Yeah.
So basically, I think what Mafia is trying to say is,
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Oh God!
Wow. You really
Yeah.
outdid yourself tonight, Graham.
You're not
This
wrong
is
though.
beautiful. This is beautiful, man. That's the meme of my life, Mafia. That's what I always, that's the meme that I always choose when I'm talking about whether or not I'm going to buy a figure. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. AKA,
The funny thing is,
don't buy it right now because
he'll message
because I
us
can't.
and say, should I get this? I really want this. And we're like, yeah, you should. And then he'll put that meme up and then he just doesn't do it. And that's it. It's like, okay.
That's tough, man.
It's a test. It's a test of your will.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I love that DeLorean though.
It's pretty
That
cool.
vehicle is sexy.
Oh, I love it too. I think the problem is that they had that first run that
Mhm.
had a lot of QC issues, and then that put off a lot of people for an already like $900 thing, and you have to like Back to the Future.
Right, right.
Is not to say that's not. I mean, it's timeless, but a lot of the newer generation may not love it like a lot of us do.
Sure.
So coupled with those two problems, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
Tough. True.
Silence says, I don't have the space, but this guy's coming home. So he's in that realm of, I'll just figure that out later. So
This would be a really cool thing to like have out. Like, I guess if you're okay with having something outside of a case too, like on a desk or just something else, it's not. I guess it wouldn't be protected, but you could have it somewhere.
No, that's
else.
what I
Doesn't
was
have to be
thinking. I
behind
get my
glass.
computer's like up there, and I could like, it's a big ass tower. I could just sit it on top of it and be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Badass.
Shout out to yeah. Shout out to Collection Obsession. I'm so stoked. I can't believe that my Wonder Woman WB100 waitlist converted today. Congrats, man.
Nice.
Good job.
Wow.
That's big. That is big.
I'm gonna check mine now.
Mafia does not like new things. He thought Sisu was meh.
Yeah,
Mafia's starting to turn into like the Clint Eastwood, like get off my lawn type of guy.
Well, I mean,
just kidding.
A little bit. No, I mean, there's some truth to that. But look, I like new things. I just don't like everything, and that's okay. You know,
It's perfectly fine. I mean, I've been trying to be more selective, and I had a bad stretch in August. But you know, it's I got like 9 figures. But
relapse.
I think that's what it was. Actually, it was like a relapse.
That's funny.
But no, I mean, you know, we all have lives and bills, and you know, it's tough, and this is the one hobby where I really find myself saying I can't get it all, and I just gotta pick what I love, because like you said, they don't make bad figures. Everything's great, and we love all these movies, and I feel bad because it's like I like Marvel a lot, but it almost has to be on that low end of the totem pole because it's the lesser of the other ones, and it's just tough because you want it all. So
yeah.
Speaking of wanting it all, I just got a conversion on Doc Ock while we're on air.
Hey. Now, is it the deluxe or the regular?
Oh, good question.
Okay, because I got it on the deluxe. A couple people said deluxe as well, but not the regular.
Let's see.
Or was
will you convert it?
Depends if it's deluxe. I don't know if I want the deluxe, but let's see. Which one? I put my name in for both. Oh, where'd it go? I just had it.
What's up, Jedi?
Here it is. The deluxe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So they have like so it's weird how they do it. It has to be batch related. They have like X amount that they got in on stock of one thing, and
yeah,
it's a cool figure. I was unboxing it today, and man, but I do have a gripe. So I was kind of expecting the tentacles to be like the ones on the integrated Spider-Man base, that diorama that it came with, like kind of really thick and just kind of not
bendable.
Hard to. Well, the ones that come with the figure, they're more ratchety and they feel more plasticky, like cheaper than what's on the base of the integrated Spider-Man. So that kind of bothered me a little bit while messing with it, since I have both. I'm like, why couldn't they do that? But no, it's a really cool figure. I'm liking it, and I think the head sculpt's better than what people are saying. So
he showed us the head sculpt, and we're all just like, cool.
I mean, it looks better in person, though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't like the glasses. I think it looks better without the glasses. But I know a lot of people like it better with the glasses, but I think the glasses look pretty cheap too. So I'm good with that.
I kind of want to get the goggles, like some people have been doing from the old
I've
third
seen
party
that.
one. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Speaking of new stuff here, you guys want to talk Feral Predator before we call it a night? Yeah, man. Like, I don't know about you guys. I don't know how to feel about this because I'm a big Predator fan, and I did like the movie. And I wish I had the drop for "This Is One Ugly Motherfucker" because, man, when you the mask on, it is quite hideous. And I'm just, in my mind, and maybe you guys can help me through this, I'm wondering, and I think I'm leaning towards getting it, but do I get it and be okay that this might be the only figure we get, and it just goes well with the other Predators, or...
Oh, yeah.
No, this is what you talked about earlier in the show, bro. You have to be like, nope, this is a one-off that's going to go with my other kind of one-offs. And if those other one-offs happen to be other Predators, you now have an ensemble. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, this is cool. If you like that, you get it, yeah.
And they didn't just glaze over it. It looks really good. Like, the diorama base looks nice. The Predator itself looks really good. I'm going to let you guys talk about it, but I don't care about, I know, Rob, you asked about the joints. I don't care about that. It's going to, it's kind of one of those things we have to sacrifice for articulation. And the other Predators have that too. And they're kind of hidden a little bit more with the webbing or maybe some of the gauntlets or the shields and whatnot. So that's fine. And I think the dreads kind of hide some of it too. But Mafia, I'm going to go in reverse order. I want to start with you on this one, just on your thoughts. If this is something you're going to pick up. Holy cow, there he is.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude.
So ugly.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I don't. Here's the thing. I have my classic Predator, and I recently just sold my Samurai Predator a couple weeks ago. I finally pulled it. I was like, you know what? Look, I love it. I think it's still to this day one of Hot Toys' best releases they've ever made. I love that figure, but he was kind of a weird one for me because I don't collect Predators. So I was like, okay, then I kind of feel like kind of how you're feeling. I'm like, where am I going to put it? I could not figure out anywhere to put it. It didn't fit in my 80s shelf. It just didn't fit anywhere. So I was like, all right, as much as I love it, somebody really wants this. I know someone really wants this figure. I'm glad it goes to a happy home, right? So now we've got Prey, right? We got the Feral Predator, and it's like, damn, dude, this is cool. I like the movie too. I did. I thought this was a good kind of, wasn't really like a callback, right? But it felt more true to form, sort of, right? Like with Predator than like the last couple of films that we were getting. So though I don't understand his appearance, I still didn't get that. I'm like, well, he doesn't look like a Predator.
Yeah.
So is there some lore behind that I just missed?
He's feral.
Do they look different? I guess. Yeah, but they always had like the same kind of facial structure. I mean, some things, vary, but this guy's like real slender. He's got a weird looking look, but he looks badass, dude. So I'm not sure yet. I may end up getting him though. For kind of the newer release kind of shelf that I'll be doing, a couple of one, because I really like the movie. I don't mind if we don't get the girl.
Sure.
That's cool, but dude, this Predator, I mean, this is still pretty badass. And the people that don't have Predators, yeah, dude, they all have exposed joints. They all do, but I don't see them. I mean, again, we kind of talked about that with Venom, but I mean, you see him here because we're zoomed in, but you got this guy on the shelf, dude. You're gonna be like, dude. And what, the base is USB, his head's USB too, right? It's light, so.
Is it? I didn't hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they said they were both USB.
Yeah.
So
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's pretty sweet, dude. So you can have that. And correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody in the chat knows, but I'm pretty sure the helmet's USB. So if that's the case, you hide the wire, whatever. You get the base lit up. That's pretty sweet, dude.
Oh wow, we got some Predator knowledge here. Coffin says Feral is from the hotter side of the. I gotta remember how to say this. I think it's the Yucha prime planet, hence the different features.
Okay.
There's a I looked up some stuff with like the Elder Predator from Predator 2 because that was my favorite Predator. So, but it's been a hot minute, so I apologize if
No, that's cool though. Okay, so thank you because I didn't know that. Okay, so they have some lore to it then. Okay, it's kind of like D&D and stuff, but you've got your regular elves and you got your drow elves, right? They look a lot different because they're underground and they don't get sun. So yeah, okay. As long as there's some lore that makes sense to it, sweet, dude.
Yeah. Sneaker, helmet on or helmet off?
I think it looks pretty badass with the helmet on. The helmet off is kind of terrifying, but
did you see this movie?
I haven't seen this movie. I haven't seen the other Predator movies in a while either. Like I want to do a rewatch actually of like some of the older movies, and I want to watch this. Like it's on my radar to watch. This figure though is like, so is the abdomen, that's like a articulation point, right? Like at like the middle of the abdomen, right?
Yeah, it's like an ab crunch, but
ab crunch.
Swivel.
Yeah, so like it's crazy because when I saw this figure was announced, and then I had seen some like comments later about like, oh, like what do you guys think of the exposed joints? I did not notice them when I first saw the figure because there's so much other things to look at with this thing that I think are really badass to look at. Just kind of like we talked about with Venom, like the way that the body looks and the texturing and just like all the different colors and the skin tone and everything. Like it doesn't detract from the figure at all. Like this, you can barely see, like the knees look like you can barely tell, you know what I mean? So I don't really have any qualms about that, but this is like one of those figures I always talk about, those figures that always catch my eye. And even though like I don't really have a connection to it or haven't seen the movie, that are just like badass figures that I'm like, dang, this looks really cool. Like I would want something like this because it looks so cool. That's kind of the category for this one for me. I'm not going to get this. The hardest part for me also even if like I wanted to get it, I don't know how I would place this. Like,
Yeah,
in
your
my
collection is it's different.
Yeah, I couldn't place it in my collection unless like maybe down the road when I start getting like inevitably I'm gonna have to get a few more cases and then have some more one-off stuff. It would go with that stuff, but it would have to be like my one-off would have to be evolving before considering adding something like this into the collection, because I just wouldn't be able to place it. But nevertheless, very cool figure. I think it looks awesome. It sounds like the majority of Predator fans and like fans of this movie are going to be happy with getting this. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts for actually having seen the movie as well.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point with the paint applications too, and I think the paint applications, just like you said, Mafia, I think they help blend everything together, so you don't really even see the joints or anything like that. But yeah, this is going to be,
it's really cool, dude.
It's going to be a cool figure. I was, for a while, I wasn't even sure if this was really coming, even after they teased it, because it took so long. I'm just like, well, it might not happen, but here it is. DLO. Predator. We're not going to have, it looks like his like garments are maybe rubber, so maybe not pleather. Like some of the old Predator figures really suffered from peeling pleather, straps breaking down. Berserker's one I wanted for a long time, can't get it because there's none that even exist really that are in good condition. I think this thing's going to hold up, and it's also something that I really want to see do well, so that Hot Toys continues doing stuff like this again and gives us more Predators. But what do you think?
I'm buying this shit. This is coming home. This one is coming home all day long. Listen, I do not have a Predator in my collection, even though Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first movie, I mean, that's one of my all-time favorite movies. Definitely a top 10 movie for me growing up as a kid. So always wanted a Predator, but kind of like you were saying there, Second Gram, like there's a lot of those figures that are old and tough to find one in good condition. If you do, it's not exactly the cheapest, figure to buy as well too. So for me, I've been dying for a Predator for years, and if I can't get like the original, like, cause you know me, I like to bookend stuff here. I like to get like the original representation and maybe like the last version or something like that. But in this case here, I'm cool with this one here simply because this particular Predator is kind of like a throwback to Predators before the first movie. So it's kind of like a prequel to that one that I fell in love with as a kid. So for me, the fact that this is like a back to basics Predator makes this one cooler for me, just because he doesn't have all the evolutionary technology he has for his weaponry. He's got some of it, but not all of it. And the fact that this is a 2023 version of a Predator with, I'm sure it's going to be, the joints are probably going to be better. I think the paint, you guys have been talking about it this whole time, I think really sells the realism of this figure. I think the paint tones of this particular one makes those joint concerns that most collectors are going to have kind of obsolete, just because it looks like it blends very well. And kind of like Mafia's been saying all night long, it's just like, if you're staring at it from like a few inches away, yeah, it's going to be noticeable. But if you're further away, where you're going to stand and observe your collection from a distance, you're not going to notice any of this stuff here. So for me, it's a non-deal breaker. But what sells me the most is the unmasked sculpt. That sculpt
scares me, man.
It is sick, man. That is, look at that. Like, we'll go to a picture with that one, please.
There. Oh God.
But what's cool too is that you can actually remove those what was it considered, like mandibles or mandibles?
Interchangeable mandibles.
Interchangeable mandibles.
Different ones.
You know how sick that is to have that feature on a Predator? Like, I'm like, all right, sold. Cool. Maybe I'm gonna pre-order stuff again. We'll see. But this, for me, excitement wise, this is a 10 for me. I've always wanted a Predator, never had an opportunity to pick one up, and this was a really good movie. When I saw these photos drop last night, I was so excited. I legitimately turned the movie on and watched it again, because I haven't watched it since the first time I saw it.
That's awesome.
So I got instantly, that ending is badass. I forgot how good it was. I was like, yeah, when we talk about it tomorrow, they ask me, I'm just going to say like, yeah, this is no brainer. I'm buying this shit.
So yeah, I'm glad you're getting it, because like I said, I want us to support something like this. I know Pennywise sat on the shelves for a while, and it just scares me, because are they going to do less and less of these one-offs if they don't sell quickly? And I do think this one will probably sit for a while too. But nonetheless, I hope this gets supported. I think I'm going to do my best to support it as well. The Predators do have the open mandibles and the closed that you can plug in, but I think something that they're doing better here is if you look really close, and again, when it's on the shelf, you don't really see it, but you can see the lines for where it plugs in. And here, I think it's with all the textures and everything, it's very well masked or hidden. So I don't think that's going to be something that we worry about here. Brick, I know you've seen this film. You're a Predator fan. I thought
I've not seen this film.
Okay.
No, I was really looking forward to watching it, and then I ended up getting it was on Hulu, right?
Yes, it still is, which is why I haven't seen it, since.
Right. Yeah, I ended up getting rid of it, and then I was wanting to watch it, and then I moved, and it was up north for like 3 months, and I just never got back to it. So yeah, I haven't seen the film, but the figure looks awesome, and I'm with DLO. It's got to be unmasked. Like that's a face only a mother can love. I mean, it looks that is one hell of a head sculpt there. But man, the problem is, and not only because I haven't seen this movie, but because I'm a huge fan of the original. That's the Predator that I want. But you guys are talking about it too. Like, we need to. I want to be able to support these one-off figures, and my dream is that they come back with Planet of the Apes figures, which
that'd be cool.
I don't see happening anytime soon because I'm a huge fan of that. But so I want to support
which version
this,
of Planet of the Apes. I'm curious because I'm a fan too. Not to cut you off. Which version?
I like the originals the best, but I love them all.
Hell yeah.
So
okay.
yeah. I even like the Tim Burton one. So but yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a movie that's on my radar. I do need to watch it, and I think when I watch it, I might lean more toward getting it. But yeah, just not right now. But the figure does look pretty badass, and I'm glad they're doing stuff like this because we need more stuff like this. I don't want that burnout with Marvel and 100 million Spider-Man. Even though I'm a Spider-Man fan, but it does get tiring. I don't want to get the burnout with Star Wars and DC. We need some classic stuff. And I know this isn't like the classic movie, but we need to go back to that, because if we just keep doing DC, then okay, we got to get this Superman. Now we got to get the next Superman. Who's the actor now for Spider-Man? Okay, now we need that version of Spider-Man. It becomes kind of like a domino effect almost. Like, okay, I need this. Okay, now a new actor. Where this is just classic. And if you haven't, like Dila was saying, if you haven't been able to get your hands on the original, this is your chance here. But yeah, I as of right now, it's a no for me after saying all that awesome stuff that we need more classic figures. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'll keep my eye on when I see the movie, and then I might change my mind and help support that. 'Cause, yeah, I don't want it to be sitting on shelves and they never do anything like this. That would suck. So
question.
Yeah.
Let's say you watch the movie, you like it,
mm-hmm.
but you're still on the fence. Would this be something that, let's say you like the movie, you'd get this, but knowing it's not your ideal Predator, but like, would you still be willing to get this and then eventually getting those older Predators to like kind of build into the collection?
Yeah.
Like, I want to secure this and then I'll worry about those later. Or is it more of like, no, I just need the ones I grew up with. This one's cool, but it doesn't have that same meaning to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I really love the film and I get this figure, then I would want to get this figure. The problem is, if I get this figure, then I am going to want to go back and get all these, all the other Predators and make it this huge, not task, but just like this huge money, spending, just like it's a freaking holiday and I need to get them all. So, and that becomes a problem. And then you focus too much on that line, and then you end up with how many Predators do they have? Like 4 or 5?
10.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot. They used to back in the day, Terminator and Predator.
Bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Back in the day, this is what they made. So
damn. But yeah, I mean, so I'd want at least the original as well, and so we'll see. I don't want to go down that hole right now. So I think that's my biggest problem.
Yeah, Mafia, you're probably right. There probably is more than 10, because they for Predator 2, they made pretty much that whole clan. So
yeah.
When was the last one to release?
Okay.
Like, when was the last time they released a Predator figure? I know people have been wanting one of these for a while. It's been
Was
I
it
heard 6
Wolf or
years.
the Celtic Predator? I don't remember.
None of them have released since I've been collecting since beginning of 2020.
So it's been.
I heard something on a thread
while.
that I was on. It said 6 years.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I thought it was Wolf, but I could be wrong.
Okay. But there's a lot of variants. I've seen YouTube videos actually of people that only collect Alien and Predator, and they have a lot of stuff in their collection.
Yeah,
There's a
It's
lot,
actually
dude.
pretty badass too.
yeah, I'd love to get a
so-
Xenomorph. Man.
So I think there's going to be a market for this because I still think there's a lot of those collectors out there. But I've heard, so this isn't up on Sideshow yet, and I've heard that this price, again from our little birdie, this price might be like, I think it was a DLO, was it 400?
Yeah, right around there. Right around there.
That seems a bit steep. What do you guys think about that?
It's a bit steep,
It's a bit steep.
but it's kind of where we're at now. I mean,
Well, what are we getting that it's cost? Like what? I'm confused on.
well,
I could see this being 3 or even 320, but
I think
don't
like
thing
the
is-
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, real quick, I'll just say I'm not justifying the costs, obviously, because they were cheaper before. We could always say that, but this isn't like a regular body either, like where they just took a body and they got clothes all over it. So this is all new stuff for them. So it's still pretty pricey though. Yeah. Yeah. Wolf. Yeah. It's not, yeah.
2017.
I
That's
looked
the
up
one.
some of the older Predators after we had that conversation about the price there.
Thanks, Brady.
And believe it or not, like I forget which Predator I was looking at there, but I just started doing a Google search and looking for Predator prices back in the day. I mean, that Predator that I found was $270. I think that was back in like what 2015, 2016, something like that, maybe around there, maybe a little bit older. I mean, so if you go back to that price range, that's expensive for Hot Toys during that
It was. Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
So
So-
you got to figure now, fast forward all these years later, 2023, that's more in line with what you would expect a figure like this to go for. So, I mean, I like it. I know nobody probably is happy with that price there, but it kind of falls in line with where they were because the Predators were not the, bargain bin priced figures from Hot Toys back then either. I mean, I'm pretty sure when people were talking about this figure, the figure I'm referring to back when that was announced, 270, they're probably like pinching their purse and saying, no, thanks, that's way too expensive for me. So I think today, I think it makes sense. RoboCop's around 400. This is around 400. I mean, for nostalgic figures like this that we've had before, yeah, I think the price is in line with what we're expected to pay today. Where's he running
Yeah,
to?
dude. I don't know.
He's gonna take a dump.
Taking a shit.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Out the door.
I mean, so,
He's got the measure. He's got the tape measure out.
What is
So
Okay.
this guy on the base, we'll just take him off here. It's about 13 and a quarter, 13 and a half. And Breda says this will be 14 and a half. So about an inch bigger than this one even. Interesting.
I think Mafia, what you said about like this is not just a typical body where you're throwing like clothes onto. Like this is like an art piece that they're like
yeah,
sculpting.
head to toe.
Yeah, they sculpted probably this entire body, and like there's a lot more that obviously is going into creating this body than just a generic figure body, right? So that's got to have some do with it. And this
And all the
sculpt
lights.
too. The sculpt, like this is not an ordinary sculpt. Like this is wild, right? So I feel like
Yeah, it
that's
is
probably
badass.
just like all the detail in this figure is obviously I feel like a big factor when it comes to the price. But yeah,
But is it a risk being that expensive for a Predator figure at this point in time?
I don't
know what I
really
mean?
think so.
No,
I don't think so. Like you said, Graham, I feel like I've seen the same thing. Like Predator has a really large collectible following. I feel like I've seen the same thing of just people who have just full on AVP collections, like aliens, predators, AVP, all this stuff. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that and like it's got a pretty big following. So I don't think it's really going to have any problem selling.
Bloody Edge says 432 at kit. That would be with shipping included. So yeah, you're probably looking at 400. So,
Yeah, with Sideshow, with sales tax and shipping, you're probably looking closer to almost 5. If it's around that 400 mark.
Well, I think was it Breda? Is that what he said? Somebody said at the end it was Breda. It was a low 300s.
Yeah,
So
323
yeah,
before the
right,
Sideshow
yeah.
markup.
Yeah, so I probably like 370, 380, 390, maybe depending on your tax.
380 looks better to me than just 400. I could get behind that a little bit more, I think. Because then you're putting the shipping, and then it's 400 kind of,
shipping and tax.
Yeah, it just depends. But I mean, it makes sense though, like you guys were talking about. I mean, as they scale up, because Predators weren't cheap then either. I mean, we were getting $190, $210, $220 Hot Toys then. So Predators were always a little bit more, and we kind of take that into consideration here with how things have been going up in cost. I don't think there's a risk, dude, because if you like Predators, dude, this is it. I mean, you're getting one. I mean, we don't get Predators often, so, and they are well made. I mean, every Predator I've owned, I thought was awesome. So,
no, I agree. And maybe it's because I've bought them all mine on the secondhand market, so I don't know what to expect with a new Predator and what the retail price would be.
Well worth it, though, I think. Looks so good.
I really want the ancient Predator, but that thing is expensive. You're looking at $450, $500 for that one. So that's always been one I really wanted. Yeah. So I'm getting this probably 95% sure. DLO's getting this. Mafia, are you in?
I'm pretty close, man.
Okay.
I'm pretty close. I hate committing, but I'm probably gonna get it though.
We won't hold it against you.
I know, but as it draws near, right? I mean, it's gonna be that situation where I'm gonna see it. I'm like, all right, yeah, because I did like the movie, and it is a Predator, so
Did you hear they're making a second one?
I heard, but I don't know if it's official or I saw a post, but I never know what the hell to believe.
Yeah, was that poster that they put up official?
No, it's not official, but the rumor is that it's going to be based in World War II, so somebody made it.
That was a fan mock-up. Yeah,
okay. That was a fan mock-up of a rumor that's going around that it's going to be based in World War II. Yeah.
If it's a World War II, I love World War II.
That'd be badass.
I'd really have to see how the story goes. Is it going to be, is he thrown in the mix between the Germans and the Americans, or is it like a Eastern Front thing with Soviets and Germans, or there's got to be two armies, going at each other, and then a Predator in the mix who's taking out both sides, and just so in this chaos where both armies don't know what the fuck's going on. That would be kind of cool.
It'd be cool to do like an alternate timeline of how it played out in real world and stuff like that, where a major battle or something like that, like D-Day, for example, and you just flipped on its head. It wasn't actually the Germans and us fighting, it was more like us fighting the Predator or something. I don't know, something cool like that. That would be
something cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I think they're finding a niche now with Prey going backward that they could do, it always comes back to games, but I feel like they can take the Predator franchise and kind of make it like Assassin's Creed, where they just go, oh, here's a new Predator movie in this time period. You know what I mean? And just see how the characters react in those times with that particular, that would be really cool.
So again, I was really captivated by Predator 2, The Elder Predator. I read that comic book on the origin of history. Mafia, have you ever read that? A really small, short story. But basically, the Elder Predator, because remember he handed that pistol?
The matchlock? Yeah.
Yeah. So in the comic, he comes to Earth for his first hunt in 1715, and he witnesses pirates, and they just robbed a church. And they're going through the treasure, and then the captain's we made a mistake. We need to give this back. And the other pirate's like, no, and then they start fighting, and then the Predator's watching this, and he jumps in and he helps the captain take on all of the mates, if you will. And then it's just those two standing, and then they kind of go at it with each other, and he mortally wounds the captain, and the captain basically gives him his pistol and says, take it. And it's pretty cool. I would love a movie on that backstory, like pirates and predators, and
That would be sick.
just a movie on when the first predator came. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool, but
That
they
would
never
be
really
cool.
did anything with it. So let's see. Let's see here. No one talks about Samurai Predator. Best one to date.
He must have took a nap when I was talking about it.
This is kind of medieval Predator. Yeah. Any final thoughts on this? I know we're excited. It's something different. It's refreshing to kind of talk about. Anything else you guys want to throw at this?
Do you have to see anything before watching this movie? Is there any must-watch movies before seeing this one?
No.
You could watch it as a standalone.
Yep.
Yeah, all you need to know is that there's this predator on Earth.
Sweet.
That's it. It doesn't. There's really nothing there. There's not. There may be like an Easter egg, but it's not like, I need to know this.
But,
Like,
I don't need to watch because I'm gonna rewatch the older ones, but I might watch this one first before I go do that.
Is it the 1800s?
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Native Americans, and it's kind of a risk that they took doing it this way, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, great, bows and arrows against a predator," that doesn't make sense. But I thought that they executed it really well. So
Yeah,
well done.
yeah. His tech wasn't too advanced. I mean, it's still probably better than bows and arrows, but but exactly how you said it, how they handled it was really cool. Yeah, it was good. It was a great movie.
Cool. Eddie says Arnold would have ran through this Predator. That is still one of the best movies out there too. It's good. And Predator 2 has grown on me over the years too. I didn't like it growing up, but I do now. And Predators, I actually really like. Again, they took a different direction with that film, and I actually like it for what it is. So I enjoy watching that one.
Yeah,
You guys more Predator or Alien?
Alien.
Predator.
Okay,
But I
yeah,
do
more
like
Alien,
Alien.
but yeah, I like them both.
What you, D'Lo?
Depends on the day. Depends on which AVP I decide to watch that day. I'm going to probably say Predator for now.
Sneaker.
I don't think I've really seen enough of the Alien to make a call on that one.
Okay, this guy hasn't seen any
Go ahead,
movies.
hate on because I haven't seen all movies that known to existence because I haven't seen all the Alien movies.
You haven't seen the Predators. You haven't seen the Aliens. You haven't seen Batman.
I've seen the Predators.
You just saw
it's
the
been a long
BVS.
time. It's been a long time.
All you need to do is watch Alien and Aliens, and that's a wrap.
All
Yeah,
right,
just
well,
watch the first two, and then AVP, the first one. Second one sucked, but
AVP
Second
is
one
good
was
just
too
to
dark.
sit back and watch, just to have fun.
yeah.
Wait, what do you do with the other movies?
Well, you don't take it too seriously, it's just you're just kind of I'm gonna watch Aliens and Predators go at it and
have fun with it.
Yeah,
sit back, relax.
But Aliens plural is actually my favorite out of that franchise.
It's a good one. I like the
Alien,
first
I'm all
Alien.
about
It's
the
more,
original.
it's more horror,
Oh, jazzy. Never seen Predator 1, LOL. You think I can still enjoy it today? Absolutely, yes. It's
Yeah, dude.
Actually,
still
does
an
hold up.
amazing movie. Yes. Fun.
You'll
Go watch
probably
it.
enjoy it even more today, because you're gonna be like, "Wow, this movie's crazy!" Like, because movies nowadays they're not as they don't. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like
Take
movies
risks
back
for
then
some
were
reason.
so much. Yeah, exactly. Movies back then they didn't give a
A
shit.
little more
It's-
filtered
it's-
now.
Yeah,
I'm more
it's
macho
awesome.
back then. Cheese Mill with that one.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So I don't think we're gonna do Overreaction Wednesday just because we had a lot of really good conversations here tonight and whatnot. So we're gonna save that. Again, next week is our Halloween special. We do have costumes. We're gonna be doing a lot of like Halloween stuff. So come check that out. But before we do end, though, I just want to do something which we call like a fixated figure, and kind of like the figure that you're fixated on. Maybe you've been chasing it. Maybe you just got it. Maybe you're just pre-ordering it. Whatever the case may be. So I'm going to start with myself. and then I'll move it on to you guys. But the figure that I'm fixated on lately is the Avengers Hulk, and it's another one of the massive figures. I had Professor Hulk, and it was the one I got because it was in stock, but I really wanted the classic Hulk. I just couldn't get it. And now all of a sudden my local comic book store, which does a lot of trade-ins, I just see yesterday they get an Avengers Hulk in for a pretty decent deal. So I'm trying to figure out a way to like finance that and get it because I really want that in my Marvel collection. So that's the figure I'm fixated on. Haven't gotten it yet. Would like to get it. Trying to figure that out. But man, we're talking about this Venom and how imposing he would look in your case. Imagine having that Avengers Hulk. I think being a little taller, if not the same size. Yeah, so that's the figure that I'm looking forward to. Obviously, my pre-orders for the rest of the year are the Batman and the Bat Cycle. So hopefully that drops any day now too. But Brick, what figure are you fixated on recently?
Oh man, I mean, like I said, Doc Ock, he came in, so I'm messing around with him a little bit. But it's Halloween season, so I'm kind of. It's not even Hot Toys. I'm looking at the Sideshow Ghostface, trying to get that, but it's like $400 on eBay now, and it's like impossible to get a good deal on that. If you guys find something, let me know because I want that figure. But yeah, just looking at some Michael Myers figures, and but yeah, I mean Doc Ock, Hot Toys. I got Miles, hopefully shipping soon. I know that Sneaker's getting his or got his already. Getting yours tomorrow. Right?
Yeah, Miles comes tomorrow.
Yeah, so you guys know how Sideshow works. Mine will probably ship out in like 2 to 3 weeks and get it about a week after that. So yeah, I mean, just all the Spider-Man stuff right now, with the game out and everything.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, there's a lot of goodness if you're a Spider-Man fan lately.
Oh
so
yeah,
you're in heaven. DLO, how about you? What's that figure you're fixated on?
We just talked about it, the Predator. That's like right up there on the list now. But outside of that, I've been playing around with the idea of Moon Knight for a hot minute, just kind of like tossing back the idea of, do I get another Marvel figure? Do I want another Marvel figure again? I've already got a little bit kind of put together for Spider-Man stuff that I'm doing right now. But I pulled the trigger. I decided to get the Moon Knights. I actually did it a couple of days ago. So it's going to be coming in with my Andrew Spider-Man as well, so that's exciting. So 2 Spider-Man down, 1 more to go. I got my Toby one actually converted as well too. I said, I'll pick that one up. So I got all 3 Spider-Man locked down. So now I'm on to villains. You guys just saw I got Doc Ock as an option. I'll think about that one in a little bit. And Green Goblin's available for literally everybody now. So yeah, I can't really say I'm fixated on one. I got like this whole I'm on a Marvel kick right now.
No Way Home. You're fixated on No Way Home, basically.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm fixated on
Moon Knight.
Some Spider-Man there, and maybe that Venom. That Venom is like it's like a 90-10 split right now. It's tough. I just don't know if I should or not, but I probably shouldn't. But
is No Way Home the best movie of the decade so far?
Well, hold on. Slow down.
Wow.
Okay,
we just opened a whole
decade. Hold on.
It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. I mean,
3 years. Yeah, I guess so.
that and Maverick. I would say Top Gun Maverick.
Sounds like someone didn't
awesome.
see Barbara this past summer. So I don't know about you.
Not seen that yet.
You have not seen. Well, then clearly, then the answer is no. Because
I don't like it when Rick asks me these questions and I don't have a list in front of me because then I don't remember anything.
Yeah,
you don't remember.
He's good like that. The blind side.
Don't remember it.
Of the decade, though. You're gonna put this over like
so far, like the 2020s, the 2020s. So far, the last 3 years.
That's for I don't know, man. Think about it. We'll talk about that next time.
I want to say no, but I can't tell you why yet.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, DLO, those are some pretty good figures you got coming in. So congrats on those and locking those down. Mafia, thank you for being our guest tonight. Appreciate you making the time to hang out with us. We had a lot of fun, and hope you did too. But what figures are you locking down lately, or looking to?
Well, obviously, thank you for inviting me. Of course, it's always awesome, man. It's cool hanging out with all of you guys tonight. But I don't, dude, fixated, man. I'll tell you one thing. I just all year as the year keeps drawing closer and closer to the end, I keep wondering when the hell Dead Strange is coming out. because I
Mm.
need that figure. I have a huge like zombie display with my Iron Man and my zombie Deadpool and all the comics, and so and that's fun about collecting, right? You can kind of play around however you want. Like I know that was from Far From Home, Mysterio's Illusion Iron Man, but that looks like zombie Iron Man, like right off the cover, and then zombie Deadpool is from Zombies, and then Dead Strange looks zombie. So I was like, dude, that looks like such a beautiful figure, man. I cannot wait for that thing. So I've been fixated on that in my head. I keep wondering, like, wait, is that coming? Is that coming? Is that, I want
Probably the
that.
best Strange.
Indeed. No, it's awesome. I love it. So I can't wait for that to come out. And then, any old stuff I've been, I keep thinking about like the DX13 because I never got it. And I'll get it eventually. I just don't want to drop the money right now.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know, brother. But yeah, I don't know.
Rick just triggered Bretta.
Triggered
When I say
everybody.
the decade, I mean this decade, not since 2013. That would be Interstellar,
Yeah.
but that's my opinion.
They mean like
so.
the last 10 years. Oh, jeez, I'm just picking gold
That's
ones.
tough,
there,
man.
Very good, very
Save it
good.
for
Yeah,
another episode.
that Dead Strange is going to be pretty sick. I can't wait to see like that thing. If any of you guys get it, I'd like to see it in person. But yeah, just even seeing videos on that, it's going to be cool to see the final product. Sneaker. You've been this guy
God, what a
who
roller
makes his
coaster of
own rule
emotions.
of not buying any more figures for the rest of the year. Tell us what you're all getting.
Nothing. I'm selling them all.
Nothing.
Yeah, so a trifecta came in this week from 3 different IPs. Never thought this would happen to me in 1 week, but yeah. So honestly, like the one I've probably been most fixated on for the past year is like the chase for me has been Tarkin Vader 2-pack, which I finally got on eBay, as you guys know, for a very good deal. Unfortunately, there's a lot of pleather damage to the Darth Vader suit, even though it was listed as excellent condition, but it's okay. The guy gave me a partial refund, and then I took that money and bought a replacement suit that is on the way. So I'm going to get the suit all fixed up for the
That's
Vader.
leather.
So, yes, it's a leather replacement suit, which yeah. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So I haven't like ever messed with anything like that, but I'm looking forward to seeing like how that is. The pictures of it look really good. So yes, got that coming on the way. So I'll get that fixed up. But Tarkin though is fine, and that figure is crazy. Seeing
He's
it
a
in
great
person.
sculpt.
Yeah.
He's a
yeah.
great sculpt. He's
Yep.
yeah. That Vader had mine was okay, but it's kind of better, I guess, that this happened for you, because if you're gonna get the leather one, it'll be nice. Because dude, his hands are almost impossible to peg into, and what a lot of people would do is like jam it. It's really hard to like hold your figure, because of the way that's squishy. I don't know what
friction.
it is. I guess it's leather, but
Yeah.
whatever
grip.
Vader's suit is, that the friction with it, right? Like you're holding it, and people are just trying to jam this in, and his arm cuff keeps moving, and just it starts shredding over time.
Yep.
I've seen that a
I
lot.
haven't taken those off yet, but I'm concerned, honestly, because you can see it's all bunched up at like where the glove goes on. Exactly what you're talking about.
They're
It's all
kinda tough.
bunched up there. Yeah.
Now,
So
if you did
some
like
people
some
cut
kind
'em.
of upward hand, then it's okay. You could just kind of rest it. You don't have to like plug it in, but it's kind of a pain in the butt.
yeah. So we'll see how the leather suit goes. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how that is compared to obviously like the pleather suit. I'll be interested to see that. But that's kind of like the main fixation that I've had figure wise. But I do have this Warner Brothers 100 Wonder Woman that I opened and basically felt like I was afraid to touch it because it's so nice. I'm like, but yeah, Graham, you kind of convinced me to do it. I think I'm gonna try my hand at a review on that one.
You should.
So it'll be my first figure review actually. So I think I'm going to do that this weekend. That'll be my plan for that one. And then Miles is coming in, but yeah, so a good, yeah, very good.
It's awesome.
That's it. I'm done for the year. I'm done for the year, except for Mafia. The thing was like my goal was no purchases unless it's a pre-order that I have for the rest of the year, but that rule has not been broken.
Oh man, we tried doing that in my Discord server for this month, and most of us have already failed. We were like,
I need to join up on that and get some more people to hold me accountable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was pretty funny, man. I think there's like 2 people left in this little contest of ours. A lot of people failed like in the first hour.
Yep. Yeah, I was going pretty strong for a while actually. Like I was doing pretty good, and then. Yeah, then the Stark Invader, like I put in a really low offer. I was like, okay, we'll see. And the guy ended up accepting it. It was a pretty good deal on.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Venom got revealed. And then I was like, dang, like now I want to get the Spider-Man figure. So it's just, yeah, I'm done. I'm done talking now. I'm done talking now.
Oh, man.
Now the Bat Cycle we're talking about is going to get released. I have that, you know, that's pre-ordered as well, so there's gonna be, we'll see what the rest of 2023 brings from the pre-order front, but I'm done buying now. No more buying until pre-orders are released. That's it.
Red in the ledger says too many waitlist opportunities to practice abstinence.
Yeah, dude, it's tough.
Well, it reminds me of that Seinfeld episode too. You guys ever see that where they're doing the bet on who can last the longest without?
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
I'm out.
Yeah, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, yes, we're gonna call this tonight. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully, you guys in the chat had fun interacting with us and just talking figures and whatnot. Again, next week is Halloween. Mafia, really quick though. Do you want to just plug anything on your channel? Anything you got going on? Anything you want to talk about?
Sure. Yeah. Well, first, thank you again for the invite. It's cool. Nice meeting you guys as well. And hanging out, man. It's been fun. Always, dude. And no, I mean, a Saturday my show returns. I'm doing also a giveaway for my channel members. I'm gonna be giving away Ghouls and Ghosts arcade from New Wave.
Nice.
So that'll be fun Saturday, and you know, talk about whatever else happens the rest of the week. And so that'll be kind of a fun Halloween thing. And I did it last year too, man, and nobody dressed up, so I don't think I'll do it this Saturday, unless people want to. I don't even have anything to wear, but you know, it's fun. You know, it's fun to do that and have fun with Halloween. But either way, no, that'll be fun, man. And a couple reviews coming here when I have the time. I've just been so busy with other things, and yeah. Other than that, man, no, it's great, man. So I do appreciate it, and yeah, that'll be fun Saturday night, 6 o'clock.
Cool. Yeah, well, thank you guys. You know, Wolfpack, thank you guys for always being here too. Appreciate you guys. You can find all 4 of these fine gentlemen's Instagram, YouTube channels in the description below. So if you haven't already, go give them a follow and subscribe if you'd be so kind to hit that like button on your way out of here as well. Really helps the channel out a lot. Tells YouTube that you do appreciate the content that we're throwing out there for you. So hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Again, thank you so much for your continued support. Look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Wolfpack out. Give us a howl, Mafia. Give us a howl.
What? No.
Ow, ow, ow.